And good evening. I am your host, Brittany Hoback, and I am joined by my co-host.
Hi, I'm Jerry Compton, the director for the United Way of Northeast Kentucky.
All right, we would like to officially welcome you to this portion of the 2014 inaugural KyHopeAthon. This is a presentation of the Beacon Media Group and the Greenup Beacon and Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital in cooperation with the United Way of Northeast Kentucky. We would also like to acknowledge our corporate partner, which is First and People's Bank and Trust, and along with our other partners, including Papa John's Pizza, which smells delicious, by the way, which is sitting right over there, along with Subway of Flatwoods, Kentucky, and Chick-fil-A. So basically how this works this evening is we will be here from 7 to 11, so you guys can stop in, which would be awesome. Or you could also donate over the phone. So we have a couple phone numbers for you. So Jeremy, I'm going to let you tell us about those phone numbers.
1810, or you can call 606-325-8787, and one more number, 606-325-2265. Now, all three of those numbers ring into the United Way of Northeast Kentucky office. We actually have two volunteers that are there right now. Hi, Amy and Ashley. Thank you for being there. That will be standing by to take calls if anyone's, if you call tonight. Now, the other great thing is that these numbers are, of course, active all the time. So if you're watching this next week, if you're watching it next month, or even next year, you could call these numbers and still call and make a pledge or donation to United Way.
Yeah, well, that's a very good point to make, is that, you know, that even after this is over tonight, is that this will be available to watch.
That's right.
And that you guys can, you know, get online and you can see all the different organizations that we're going to be interviewing tonight and see all the wonderful things that, you know, the United Way is about and all the different organizations that are associated with, you know, the Northeast region here. So stay tuned, guys. We have a lot of great entertainment, a lot of great organizations that we'll be talking with this evening. And of course, up next, we're going to hear a song from the Scioto Brass Trio. These guys are awesome, so listen in. So we need her. So you want to
director of the Elliott County Public Library. Jasmine comes, and Jasmine's going to tell you a little bit about the Elliott County Public Library and all the wonderful things that they do down there for the families and children of Elliott County.
Like Jerry said, my name is Jasmine, and I am the director of the Elliott County Public Library. We serve the population of Elliott County, which is just roughly around 8,000 people. We have about 2,600 active patrons in our system that we serve on a daily basis, Monday through Friday. With that, we also perform different programming activities from children's programming up into adult programming. And we have worked with the United Way to help rebuild our preschool programming at this point in time.
That's great. I can't tell you how much these preschool programs mean to each of our communities. It seems that those programs keep getting cut, and yet the emphasis toward early childhood education, that need is greater and greater each year. So Jasmine, I know she's brought a couple of books here for us, and I'm going to let you've got Good Night construction site here, so
I love it.
I'm ready to take a nap.
Let's do it. This is Good Night construction site, which is my son's favorite.
All right.
So with that, let's read a story. Good Night construction site. Down in the big construction site, the tough truck works with all their might to build a building, make a road, to get the job done, load by load. The sun has set. The sun has set, the work is done. It's time for trucks to end their fun. So one by one, they'll go to bed to yawn and rest their sleepy heads. They wake up to another day, a rough and tough construction play.
Yeah, I'll fix that. Exactly.
Yeah. Working hard to help his team, crane truck raises one last beam. Reaching, stretching, lifting high, he swings the beam into the sky. He'll set it down right on its mark, and then to bed. It's almost dark. He slowly folds his boom back in, and then with one last sleepy grin, he tucks himself in nice and tight, then cuddles up and says good night. Shh. Good night, crane truck. Good night. Spinning, churning all day long, cement mixer sings his whirly song. Now yawn, he's weary and so dizzy from the fun that keeps him busy. With one last spin, he pours the load. He's ready now to leave the road. He takes a bath, gets shiny bright, pulls up his chute, turns off his lights. He cuts his engine, slows his drum, his dreams, sweet dreams of twirly fun. Shh. Good night, cement mixer. Good night. Dump truck loves to work and haul. He carries loads both big and small. He moves the dirt from place to place, then dumps it with a happy face. The final load spills the heat crunch. Now dump truck's tired and wants to sleep. He lowers his bed, locks his gate, rests his wheels, it's getting late. He dims his lights, then shuts his doors, and soon his engine slows to snores. Shh. Good night, dump truck. Good night. Pushing with his mighty blade, bulldozer works to smooth the grade. He clears the way to level ground and fills the air with thunderous sound. Roar! No one's as tough and strong as he, but now he's sleepy as can be. He puffs some smoke out of his stack, turns off his engine, stops his track. He curls into his soft dirt bed and dreams of busy days ahead. Shh. Good night, bulldozer. Good night. Scooping gravel, dirt and sand, excavator shapes the land. He digs and lifts throughout the day. Arg! Now it's time to end his play. A few more holes to dig and soon he'll roll to bed beneath the moon. He twirls upon his bumpy track, pulls his boom, stretches his back. He sets his scoop down on the ground and snuggles up without a sound. Shh. Good night, excavator. Good night. These big trucks, so tough and loud, they work so hard, so rough and proud. Tomorrow is another day, another chance to work and play. Turn off your engine, stop your tracks, relax your wheels, your stacks and backs. No more huffing and puffing, team. It's time to rest your heads and dream. Construction site, all tucked in tight. The day is done, turn off the light. Great work today, now shh, good night.
You know what's great about that is that there's a room full of adults here. And everybody here was quiet as a mouse.
They were.
So you can imagine what this would do to a room full of preschoolers.
Yes.
Or kindergartners. And so I think it's the important take-home message here is the fact that, you know, libraries are taking a lot of funding cuts. And, you know, one of the main reasons that we're here this evening is because we are trying to raise money and raise awareness that a library is one of the agencies that are being cut here. And so it is important to make sure that people are aware that, you know, this is an area that does need help.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if you are feeling, you know, giving, in the giving spirit, that, you know, reading to children and having that ability to captivate a child by reading, certainly it would benefit, you know, to give to an agency like the Elliott County Public Library, especially in a small community, you know, where, you know, a library has got so many other resources, not only for kids, exactly,
really,
but it's for the community.
Yeah,
so,
small community is very much
exactly, for the adults, for adult learning, and for jobs, and for just, you know, just a place for all those resources.
Yeah.
You know, it's a great thing. But like I said, it was just so neat to see all the adults out here. We're so quiet and so mesmerized. I know myself, I was. That it's just really important that, you know, that we are aware that libraries are one of those areas that funding is cut, and that programs like this, where children are read to, is something that is very important to communities and to people. So those phone numbers again are 606-325-8787 and 606-325-1810 and 606-325-2265. And also, what is the website, also, if you wanted to give online?
www.uwnek.org.
Okay.
And I should point out that the shirt that I'm wearing this evening, this gray t-shirt with our local logo, the United Way of Northeast Kentucky logo, this shirt will be available for anyone who makes a donation of over $25. And I think that Hank told me earlier that if you made a donation over $50, not only are you going to get the t-shirt, but you're also going to get 2 free sandwiches from Chick-fil-A, and I think maybe a couple of coffees with that. So that'll be a little incentive, and the shirts are really nice. So we're real proud of our localized shirts. And I do want to point out, just looking at this book that Jasmine read, you know, I'm thinking I have 2 nephews, and I know that neither of my nephews, well, I have 3 nephews actually. One doesn't read these kinds of books anymore. He's 25. But the little ones that do, they, I know that boys tend to not want to read as much as girls do.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And this seems like these are these are good books for maybe get little boys into reading.
They are. They
Yeah.
are.
And reading is so important. I have teenagers at home, and I am always on their case about read, and it just how it helps you so much. It's going to prepare you for college, and it's just going to just up your scores across the board everywhere.
That's right.
You know, I've got ones that are taking ACTs, and I just cannot preach to them enough. I know they're tired of hearing me say it about how important reading is to boost those scores and just to help you, like I said, across the board everywhere.
Yeah.
That reading is so important. And like I said, in these books with the trucks and the train and the artistry is just,
They're beautiful.
Adorable.
So if you really enjoyed Goodnight Construction Site, there's also Steam Train, Dream Train, and those are both by Sherry Desker Hinker and Tom Lichtenheld. And they're wonderful books. They're my son's favorites.
Well, that is great.
And Jasmine, while we're talking, I know that the libraries always have lots of events going on,
Yes.
and again, I go back to so many libraries in a small community really become the community center, social center. So anything coming up that we should know about?
Right now, we are working with Science Nights, and so we have those coming up. We also have some writing workshops and some other adult learning events going on as well.
That's excellent. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you very much. All right, we are going back to the Scioto Brass Trio for another song. Can't wait. Thank you so much. we had an awesome song right there from my buddies over here, the Scioto Brass Trio. I want to take a quick thank you break from the Russell Mayor, Bill Hopkins, and the Council and the Senior Citizens Director. We are here at the actual Russell Senior Citizens Center, and it's been a great facility to have this here this evening, so definitely want to thank them for having us here. So right now, I am here with Diana Bradley and Mary Crowley. Get your names right, awesome for me. So you guys are with the Friends of the Children, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so first off, I just want to ask a little bit about you first. So tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with Friends of the Children.
Well, actually, I got involved because of Mary.
Okay.
And it's an organization that's been here for 111 years. We are the oldest nonprofit in
Wow.
Ashland, and I am a transplant. I am not Kentucky born. So this was just a way for me to get to know the people of Ashland and to work for the needs of the children in our school system.
Okay, and how about you? How did you get involved with this organization?
Actually through my mother. I'm born and bred in Ashland, Kentucky. My mother was a member for years, and after I came back from college, I sat around and did some other volunteer work for a couple years, and I was asked to join. It's quite a privilege.
Okay, so what exactly is Friends of the Children?
Well, our organization provides new clothing to children in the Ashland Independent School System. We work through the Family Resource Center. They screen the children. They know the needs of the children. And we raise money to pay for really enough outfits to get them through the week if they wear them a couple times. Anyway, the United Way is always been a very generous donor to us. We've been an agency of theirs since 1988. We also rely on our community as far as donations through our patron letter. We do some other grants, and we also do some different fundraising activities depending on the year. Our membership dues cover the operating expenses, so all of our money that we do get from our donors goes directly to clothe the children.
So you were talking something about the patron letter. Tell me a little bit about that. How does that work?
Okay. Over the years, we started the patron letter in the 80s, and over the years we have very loyal donors, and so that's where most of our funding comes from. Okay. So we just let them know our needs, and they are just very big supporters. Everyone likes to help children, so
well, they're so cute.
They are cute. We clothe about 300 children a year, and so
wow.
we're really, and we go with them, and they try them on, and we do have some seamstresses that are able to make alterations. So we're a little different because they get to choose what they wear, which means that they probably will wear it, and that will encourage them to attend school and to fit in with the other kids.
Sure. Now, do you shop locally?
We do.
Okay. Is there a specific department store that you go to? Or,
well, we'll give a shout out to Walmart.
There you go.
We over the years we have shopped different places. In fact, the founding members, they sewed the clothes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you said this has been here for 111 years.
Yes, a group of ladies identified the need of our school children, and this was before women had the right to vote. So these were strong women who made a difference, and so we're just trying to carry on that tradition.
Now, how many schools actually, I guess, are involved in this program?
We have 5 elementaries, 1 middle school, and then a high school, and also Head Start.
Okay. Now, I guess, are there stipulations? I mean, or how are children chosen to, I mean, like, what is there certain guidelines, I guess?
Right, and that's where the Family Resource Center comes in, because they know the families very well, and so they do all the screening, and they will, and also teacher recommendation. Okay. So we rely completely on the schools to bring the children to us.
So now, where do you guys have a central office?
No, we try to keep expenses low. We have a post office box.
That's a start.
We meet at one of our local churches.
Okay.
And our ladies, we usually have a luncheon. We have monthly meetings. So if there's any changes in school policy or anything we need to correct or be aware of, we can make those changes very timely. And no, we meet at a church, so our expenses are really low.
Okay, so if someone were interested in becoming a member of this Friends of the Children and they wanted to come to your monthly meeting, where could they find you?
Well, actually, we have 40 members, and the reason we limit it is because we're all working members, and so there's a lot of communication that needs to go on, and then we provide lunch. So we have identified how many members we need to clothe the amount of children we have. We're always happy to have people interested, and we would love if anyone's interested and they see Mary and I out, let us know. But we do limit it because of the work that goes behind the phone calls and the food and the organization. So it helps us, always be able to work quickly because we.
Now, do you guys all just shop in the beginning of the year, or there are several shopping times? I mean, because of obviously the seasonal clothing issue, or is it just?
Our main point is to get the kids warm clothing for the winter and appropriate shoes, and we will clothe every day until like the middle of December. But we do other things too, like graduation or safety patrol trip. And if there's children throughout the year that come into our school district or just have additional needs, we're there to meet those needs.
Okay. Now, so do you have a different organization that you're with, or
nope,
you're just with
just
your?
me.
Okay, just you.
Just me.
So you said that your mom was originally in this as well.
In fact, I don't know if you all see. I don't know if you all can get close enough to get
really
the
great
picture.
black and white picture. Yeah, just let Keith there.
This is actually my mom right here.
Wow.
On the other end with the hair and the glasses. But this was taken probably between, I don't know, 86, 87, something like that, and shows most of our members that were attending our meetings at that time.
That is a great picture. That's awesome. Well, is there anything else, Jerry, is there anything that you can add over there from the peanut gallery? Okay, you want to talk a little bit about some etiquette?
I can. I mean, I've probably got 10, 12 minutes, so do we need a break, or do you want me to?
Do you want to do it? All right,
okay.
Let's go ahead and go back over to the Scioto Brass Trio, and we're going to do a song, and then we're going to come back over and talk a little bit about some etiquette.
Should we pray?
I also want to take a moment to thank my buddy over there on the camera, Keith Atkins. He always does such a great job with the camera. He does some fancy stuff too. He can usually edit out my mistakes when I make them, which is always a good thing to have. So we are back, and I'm going to turn this over to Mary here, and she's going to talk a little bit about etiquette, which is a nice thing to have, especially because I think it's some of those things that get brushed over in today's society.
Well, parents are so busy today
Sure.
that it is, it's one of those things that doesn't happen quite as easily as it used to.
Exactly. So I'm just going to give you the floor and let you take it away.
Thank you so much. Well, good evening. My name is Mary Crowley. I'm the owner of Magnolia Manners and Etiquette, which is an etiquette training business here in town. And tonight I'm going to share with you 10 etiquette rules that smart parents teach their children. Before I start, I really want to thank Hank Bond and Jerry Compton for giving the local agencies an opportunity to kind of tell a little bit more about their mission and what they do for our community. Thank you all so very much. Do appreciate it. I've had the privilege of being a member of Friends of the Children since 1985, and that really makes me feel old. During that time, I've seen a lot of changes in our community, in our schools, and even with the children that we serve in Friends of the Children. But the one thing that has not changed is the need for good manners. And in fact, to be honest, it's really even more important today than it was back then. Having good manners means treating people with consideration, respect, and honesty. It means being aware of how our actions affect others around us. Now, manners and etiquette are not rigid rules requiring conformity for the sake of separating people into classes or categories. It just ensures that every person is treated with respect, they're acknowledged, and they're appreciated. And it doesn't matter socioeconomic, race, gender, religion, political viewpoint, makes no difference. Everybody needs to be treated with respect. By knowing the rules of etiquette, children ultimately will feel more confident and comfortable in public, and in turn, that makes those around them feel more comfortable and more welcome in their presence. Now, parents may assume that their children kind of just naturally pick up good habits. She's giggling, and I know why. And they learn proper etiquette through social interaction. But any of us that have had kids that were beautiful until they were about 5 know that once they get out in public, they sometimes pick up a little bad habits. So children aren't born knowing the rules of etiquette, and really none of us pop out being able to quote Emily Post or Dorothea Johnson. These are skills that have to be taught and they have to be practiced at home before parents can expect their children to know how to behave in public. Now, some parents I've heard, they'll kind of discount teaching etiquette. They say, oh, well, our home isn't that formal, and we want our house and our home to be a place where people can come and just relax. And that's great, except that family members really deserve respect and consideration as much as the person next door or the stranger on the street. Formal and polite are two different things. And while you might not use the good china and the crystal and the sterling at every meal, we do need to use our good manners every day. Teaching manners is not rocket science, I promise, but it does take commitment, and it does kind of take firsthand knowledge of what's correct. Success isn't immediate. It takes much patience and repetition and patience and repetition and patience and repetition, but it's worth it in the end, I promise. And the earlier parents begin teaching their children how to behave, the more natural it comes to kids. They don't have to worry that first interview or when they go on that college trip, they don't have to worry about, oh, am I going to behave okay? It will be natural. They will automatically know what they need to do. Here's another little thing. Children learn by watching. So if adults around them model good behavior, then chances are good that the children will also. So don't worry if your children don't listen to you. You need to worry that they're always watching. So which etiquette rules are most important? Well, truthfully, they all are. But there are some that you can kind of start with. Children just really need to know proper etiquette and use those good manners to be successful, whether it's at home, at school, or in life. So let's start with a few of my favorites. The big one, please use magic words. Please, thank you, you're welcome. May I, yes sir, yes ma'am. May I's a big one with me. It's not can, it's may. Also, FYI, the correct response to thank you is you're welcome, not the currently popular no problem. Please don't call anyone mean names. Don't make fun of other people for any reason. Teasing is cruel and bullying is worse. Number 3, cover your mouth and your nose when you sneeze. I don't care if it's this way or this way. And if it's this way, please wash your hands when you're done. Number 4, don't pick your nose, your teeth, or any other body part in public. Okay, these are private behaviors that need to stay that way. Don't talk with your mouth full. Seafood, not a polite game to play anywhere. Use your inside voice when you're in public, especially in restaurants. Screaming children kind of ruins everybody's experience. Being a good sport is very important, not just when you lose, but also when you win. Sitting at the table, and this is number 8, sitting at the table means just that. It does not mean perching, kneeling, slouching, or running around the table like it's a maypole during dinner, especially when you're dining out. Handwritten notes are still important, particularly because very few people send them anymore. And number 10, get up, clean up, dress up, and smile. No one looks good running around in pajama pants and an old slouchy t-shirt with your flip-flops on and your dirty toes. We spend so much money and time on clothes and nails and hair. Make the most use of it. Look good when you go out. Teach your children to show respect for themselves as well as for others through their appearance. You know, we don't know where life is going to take our children. We have no idea, but we want them to be as confident and prepared as possible. And manners and etiquette will do just that for them. It's more than just what fork to use, what glasses to put out. It just touches every aspect of our lives. Teaching children that good manners and etiquette is important is one of the best things we can do for them. Knowing how to behave can mean the difference in success and disappointment. Given two people with the same qualifications, the one that presents themselves in a polite, confident, well-mannered way will almost always come out ahead. If you want a complete transcript of these little 10 polite manners, you can find this on my website, www.politeMagnolia.com. There should also be a schedule of upcoming classes. Thank you all so very much.
Thank you very much. That was fantastic. It really was. And like I said, those things they really do get passed over so much, and it's such a shame because they're so simple, and it's something that parents do look over. And it's like I said, it's just really it's unfortunate, and kids would benefit so much from just simple little things. We are going to go over to the Scioto Brass Trio for a song, and we'll be back shortly. All right, buddies. I'm gonna grab a chair. I'm gonna make all kinds of noise.
Well, come on over.
I know that you guys want me to do the French horn thing because it was such a hit. I know I'm like right in front of you here and there. All right.
Okay.
So, how are you guys this evening?
Doing good, Brittany. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Gail, Carl.
And Terry.
That's right. You remember?
So, since not everybody, I'm sure, got to watch our show, was it last week?
Right, last Wednesday.
Was it last Wednesday? I'm going to have you guys tell everyone that is watching this evening with their hearts open, wanting to give money to this wonderful, wonderful cause. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, it is a great cause. We want everybody to step up and try and support the United Way. We're from, actually I live in Ashland, and these guys, Wheelersburg and Portsmouth, and we've just had a blast. We've been together now since about January, although this group has been together for probably about 12 years now, right? 10 or 12 years. And I just joined back in January, so I'm the newbie in the group. And we've been going out and doing school performances for elementary kids and teaching them the elements of music. And we've had a blast doing that. And so Hank invited us to come in and be on the magazine last week, where we first met you.
Exactly, and I had an awesome time.
We did too. We had a great time. It's fun.
Yes,
And
now,
so, yeah, well, so anyway, we take the kids through, pitch and melody and harmony and timbre and rhythm and tempo and teach them all that in about a 45-minute program. And that's been our main focus, but we do other things. We do corporate events and church events, and we are available to be hired. We're not cheap, but we can be bought. I think I told you that.
I love that.
Yeah, that's right. And so, but we're here to try and help the United Way on. And in that vein, the Scioto Brass want to kick off this evening by making a $100 donation to the United Way. And we're going to challenge everybody out there that likes music to step up and see if you can match our $100 donation. So we'll get you started that way.
Well, that sounds fantastic. Well, thank you guys so much. That's a very generous donation. We really, really appreciate it. And like I said, I absolutely appreciate the music this evening. It's been great. I've been over there, doing a little jig.
Well, that's right. You'll have to get on your horsey and take a ride when you hear this next tune. But we got some great musicians lined up here. The Stevens clan is here, and Aaron Keaton and his folks are here, and you're going to hear some great music tonight. Not just us, but some really talented folks around here.
I'm very excited. And so now, just so that if anybody does want to contact you guys for events, how can they find you?
Well, we're on Facebook, just like everybody. The Scioto Brass.
There you go, Keith. Zoom in on that bad boy.
There we go. We're not bashful. That's right. Yeah, on Wednesday, Hank zeroed in on our business card, and so I imagine you can probably see that. All right. But you can find us through Facebook. That's probably the easiest way. And we're glad to come out and play. This is just fun. It's just a lot of fun. So.
Well, thank you guys so much, and you're going to play a song for us here.
We're going to play you. I guess we're going to play you out of this segment, maybe, Hank. I'm not sure how that's going to go, but this is one of the tunes that we do at our school programs, and it's amazing that the kids may not know the piece of music, but their reaction to it is pretty interesting. This piece of music, written by Rossini, who was an Italian composer who wrote lots of operas. This is the William Tell Overture. Now, folks of a certain age that's not you, of course, but of a certain age will remember this as the theme for the Lone Ranger TV show. Well, the elementary kids, they don't know that TV show unless they may have stumbled across it. But it's amazing that we start playing this, and they will start doing the horsey sound, or they'll start patting and you can see some of them up, acting like they're riding a horse and everything. And so it's been pretty interesting to see that happen. So we're going to play for you right now.
Now, you guys do a fantastic kids show. I must say that it really is a great way to put the music together for the kids. I really did enjoy it, and like I said, you guys can go onto the greenupbeacon.com to watch our little segment together, because where you did the little thing with the horn and the funnel and the bell, my face on that segment is classic. You guys have got to go and watch that. I have showed my husband and my kids that, and they have just cracked up because I was so mesmerized by it. And I'm not a grade school kid, you know. I'm 35, and I was so wrapped up in what you were doing.
Well,
and I mean, my jaw dropped, and I was like, that is the coolest thing I have ever seen.
Well, what happens is, so that the audience will know, Carl is, of course, a horn player, and he teaches the kids about how the tubing works on an instrument. He's got a piece of garden hose, and he plugs a mouthpiece in on one end of it, and plugs a plastic oil can funnel on the other end, and he plays a horn call. And it's pretty amazing, isn't it?
It was extremely amazing.
Her face is lighting up just thinking about it right now.
It was so cool. Yes.
He's a talented man, Brittany.
You're very talented, yes. Well, I'm going to let you guys play, and thank you again so very much. And thank you again for the $100 donation. I really appreciate it.
Step up and match.
That's right. Step up and match that. Exactly. Thanks, guys.
Wow, this is such a fantastic evening, and I'm just so excited because this evening combines some of my favorite things. Great music, great food from Subway, Papa John's, and Chick-fil-A, and of course giving to United Way. And the more exciting news for me is that we just recently got a text just a few minutes ago that says we got our first $50 donation pledge. So thank you very much. Oh, okay, so we have $150. Hank just told me off camera there that we have $150 now in donations. So thank you very much. And to the Scioto Brass Trio and to the Stevens family, thank you guys so much for your time and being here. With me now I have a gentleman from Shelter of Hope. This is Tracy Trussell, and I'm going to let Tracy tell you a little bit about Shelter of Hope and talk to us about this great program.
Okay, thank you. Again, my name's Tracy Trussell. I'm the case manager at Shelter Hope. I just started there as the case manager about 2 months ago. And what it is, the Shelter of Hope is a homeless shelter. And we have, excuse me, that's in the Ashland area. We serve both Boyd and Greenup counties. We have a total of 10 apartments. 9 of the apartments are 2-bedroom apartments, fully furnished, and one bedroom apartment. On an average, we will have currently residing in our shelter about 22 people in our shelter. This is families, mothers, fathers, children, single parents with children, and they were basically, and these families are homeless. With the help of the United Way, the Shelter of Hope helps out homeless families, and there's programs that we use with our grant money and the United Way dollars. The program's called Rapid Rehousing Program, where we have homeless people that's in the shelter. We help them find affordable housing until they can get a subsidy voucher in with them. We'll help them with their security deposits, utility deposits, rent subsidy, help them with rent until their rent subsidies come in through the federal government. And also, while they're in their shelter, we work with the UK Extension Office with Boyd County, and we do nutrition and cooking classes, so we can teach the residents in the shelter how to cook and have nutritious meals. And also, we're starting with partner up with PNC Bank to do some financial classes for these families to help them with budgeting and banking and opening up a checking account, because a lot of the people that are homeless, they do not have a bank account or anything to put their money in to save it. Another thing we have is, if you look at our board right here, we have a small pantry for our residents. When they first move in, we do give them a gift basket with basic needs, you know, laundry soap, personal hygiene items, towels, washcloths, to help them out. We do have a small food pantry, so when they're waiting for a food subsidy, like the SNAP programs, the SNAP program from the federal government, if they're waiting for their SNAP card to come in, we can assist them with the food pantry. We work with River Cities Harvest. This right here in the bottom is our front entrance of the shelter, with what the rooms look like. Here's the bigger picture of the main entrance. Our location is 2944 Winchester Avenue in Ashland. Best way to describe it is we're sort of like Teddy Corner from Captain D's. We have a laundry room. We have 5 washers and 5 dryers. So the residents there, they have laundry facilities to do their laundry and all. We have a playground in the back for the children. Here's a picture of one of the bedrooms. We also have volunteer groups, church groups, college students. I mean, we always need volunteers there at the shelter. We have everything from routine maintenance, upkeep, painting, cleaning, help out putting away donated items or giving out donated items. I mean, there's all sorts of things you can do. So if you have some free time, you want to volunteer, contact us at the Shelter of Hope. Our number is 324-6700. My name's Tracy Trussell. I'm the case manager there. Debbie Sivis, she's our executive director there. And we have some other staff members. Charlie Stevens, he's our community relations person. And we have 2 AmeriCorps people through Kentucky Bill Corps, Thaddeus Barker and Jay McCombs. And we are there to help the community out, help fight the battle of homelessness, and get the families to be self-sufficient. Thank you.
Well, Tracy, while I've got you here, one thing I love hear this on your board is this items of constant need.
Yes, it is.
Our United Way office gets calls oftentimes from churches and civic groups and community groups that are always looking for, how else can I get involved? Maybe I give to the United Way, but how else can I get involved with these organizations? And so I love this list of constant need, which includes toilet paper and paper towels, powdered laundry detergent, cleaning supplies, dishwashing liquid. I know some of those couponers that are out there get this stuff and donate a lot of that. And I also, looking at the 2 bedrooms here, I wanted to talk to you a little bit. I don't know if you were there the day. Debbie Sivis, the director of Shelter of Hope, and I had gone out to Marathon Petroleum at the Catlettsburg Refinery, and we were out there doing some campaigns, some United Way campaign activities with their group, and we got to talking to Sheila Fraley, who's their community relations person and also a board of director, or a member of our board of directors on United Way, and we got to talking about some of the shelter needs and bedding and different things like that, and it turned out that Marathon was getting ready to
refurbish some of their corporate apartments. And they brought, I think, some truckloads.
Yes, they did. They brought in 2 truckloads of furniture, 2 queen beds, 2 full-size beds, dressers, couches, chest drawers. I mean, they pretty much gave us enough to furnish basically 2 full apartments just from Marathon alone, and that's generous support, and we like to thank Marathon for that. One thing I forgot to mention myself was, right now we need pillows. We're out of pillows, and we need towels. We're out of towels. So if you have extra pillows and towels, we'll be glad to take them, with as well as the other items.
You know, what's funny about that is my husband's sitting off camera, and I remember a couple of years ago, I had this stack of growing pillows. I think I've turned into like Goldilocks with my pillows. Every now and then I'll go through them pretty frequently. This one's a little too soft, this one's a little too hard, and I keep buying a new one. And so I had this growing stack of pillows. What do I do with pillows?
Bring them to us.
Yeah, I hate to see this going. So I started
us.
calling around, and Shelter of Hope and the dressing room, all these places that they could use. You know, I was thinking, well, no one wants this pillow, but it's barely used, and even the towels. You know, what a wonderful way to be able to recycle even something. I can't even begin to tell you how much in doing this job that we've been able to see people get excited over any number of donations, not just monetary, but I literally tell people that I watched 2 women get so excited over a package of 70 paper plates one time because they were going to be able to have those for the next day to be able to serve people food on, and they were so excited. So there's so many ways to get involved with our organizations, and Shelter of Hope does a phenomenal job at getting people housed and getting them through some of the toughest time periods in their life. So thank you, Tracy. Thank you, and Shelter, for all you guys do. And speaking of Shelter, I think we're going to, well, okay. Well, I thought we were going to our video, or, okay. Well, I'm very pleased then to introduce 2 of us, which features our very own United Way Financial Director, Erica Berry, and her husband, Michael Berry. So I'm going to turn it over to 2 of us.
One of the best things that I like about United Way is that it's more than just a give out, it's a hand up.
There's a lot of things that United Way helps do. They help actually link a lot of volunteers up to the community through the 65, 75 agencies that provide services. So they not only accept money, but they also are really key in helping link services and volunteers to all the agencies in the 5 COAD district.
I work for Marathon Petroleum at the refinery there in Catlettsburg, and I work in the Tech Services Department, and they sent an email from Big Brothers Big Sisters, and it was about Sam in particular. It was not long after Sam had lost his great-grandfather. They mentioned this hour-a-week program, and I thought, man, what a great idea.
I was having trouble at that times, and our counselor, Miss Went, she come up and she asked me if I wanted a big brother, and I said, yeah, I'd like to have one.
There's a lot of people who don't have male figures in their lives these days, especially children, and they need somebody to mentor them and show them how to live and what to do.
I like having a big brother because it's fun, and he helps me with my schoolwork, and we get to spend time together and stuff, and we shoot basketball together, and we have lots of fun.
It's been wonderful to have Reynolds as a big brother for Sam. He's really helped me a lot, and he's helped Sam tremendously.
Volunteerism is a huge part of United Way. A lot of people may not have the money, but they have the time that they can donate, and so we've been known to direct volunteers to whatever organization that may need assistance.
You can't go wrong investing in United Way, because look at all the different places your money is going. It's staying in the community, for one, in the 5 area. It is providing dollars in investment dollars in the lives of people struggling. It's in providing investment dollars in those wanting to grow and become good leaders, like for the Scouts. It's investing dollars for those who are needing aftercare, like with hospice and other areas.
Everything was going pretty good at first, and all of a sudden our vehicle started messing up, and I couldn't get back and forth to work going to Jeffersonville, and she lost her job at KyHopeAThon.
In the blink of an eye, you can just lose everything, whether it's your car breaking down or a house fire. There's a million ways it can happen.
First, we received housing. That was the most important thing, because we got behind on a lot of our rent when we lost our jobs.
And I never thought I'd be in a position that I'd be homeless, that my children wouldn't have a place to go.
I think we was at the point where it was almost to give up, and we found this program, and without it, we probably would have just went our separate ways and lost a good chance at a family.
It's just people coming together and helping each other.
It's really just something that I can do locally for my community.
The United Way dollars that you donate help us provide the services needed for those families to get back on their feet and live violence-free.
So if there hadn't been a program like this, I'd probably be behind the flood wall somewhere, if not dead, you know.
This is a great opportunity in life to get your life together. Don't give up. Don't let anybody stop you, push you down, tell you that you can't do this, because you can.
I think they're doing a great job. They really are. I don't think I've never heard of anybody not getting help that comes out here.
We can't do it without the community. It's actually, you're talking about takes a village. Well, it's the whole village and the whole 5 area that makes it possible for United Way to be here.
You know, as you've just seen a sample of the organizations that we help. There's far more. I challenge you to get more involved with them. Learn more. Tell your friends, tell your peers, tell your coworkers that it's an outstanding thing.
When you give more, you get more. And whenever you get more, you can give more.
I'm Ann Perkins, and I live United.
I'm Debbie Sivis, and I live United.
I'm Jerry Compton, and I live United.
All right, everybody, welcome back. I want to take a moment to thank the Russell Senior Citizen Center for letting us use their venue this evening. It's been a wonderful place to have. We have a nice little area over there for all our snacks, which I just stuffed my face in some way, which was really nice. I'm always like, kids, really? They're like, Chick-fil-A, yeah. I was like, really, guys? I was like, okay, but yes, I'm definitely going to have to get some. Are we up now? All right, so they were making fun of me earlier because they were like, oh, Brittany doesn't need a microphone.
Yeah.
You know, but now he's come over here, creeping over here. Exactly, because it wasn't on.
That's what we call technical difficulties, right?
All right, so next up we have Miss Jerry Willis, and she is with Crab Elementary, and you have the Born Learning Academy there?
That is correct. With Crab Elementary School at the Ashland Independent School District. I am the coordinator of the Ashland Family Resource Center in our district, and this is beginning my 24th year there.
Wow.
In that capacity. One of the few in the state that's still around to tell about how we got started years ago.
Jerry's a social work guru.
Oh, nice.
I don't know about guru,
She
but
doesn't know, she doesn't know
I'm an
that,
old social worker from way
From
back
one Jerry
when.
to another. She's a social work guru.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us a little bit about, I guess, your organization and what you do?
Crab Elementary is located downtown Ashland. We have about 370 students, and we have a wonderful faculty and staff. We are K through 6th grade currently, but as most of you know, we'll be moving our 6th graders to Ashland Middle School next year. But as of right now, we do have K through 6, and we serve those students and families with a wonderful educational opportunity. And 3 years ago, we had the opportunity to apply for Toyota's Born Learning Academy program. We were one of 10 in the state elementary schools that were funded in that first round. So we felt honored to be able to have the program. And it was a wonderful experience because we got to go to the Capitol to have the honoring ceremony to accept the grant, and my principal went with me, and it was a really good day. The program itself actually began in northern Kentucky with a family resource center there and the school system there, and they were working with their local United Way program there, doing some parenting education programs and trying to look at the needs of their preschoolers, with one of the big issues being school readiness. We know for a fact that when kids come to school, the more ready they are, the more successful they are. So when we looked at applying for this grant for Crab, it was on the concept that we had had almost 67% of our kindergarten that we held back in a year's time, basically because they weren't ready to move on for a variety of reasons. But for the most part, we knew that we had to do something. So Crab, as an initiative in the district, started what we call a K-Prep classroom for those students coming into school not quite ready for a full kindergarten experience. But we gave them a kindergarten teacher in a kindergarten classroom, but they could flow out of that when they were ready to go into a regular kindergarten classroom.
Yes.
So smaller group, more direct attention, greater work with the parents. So we thought, well, you know, this fits really well with Born Learning. So we applied. And then being awarded that grant 3 years ago, we began the academy. We had a wonderful press release here in Ashland, and the president of Toyota Georgetown came, and it was a big deal, and I was nervous, but it went well, and
you made it.
I made it, and at that time it was totally funded that first year by Toyota. They set up the funding for the year, presented the check. The next thing we had to do was go to a training in Frankfurt for the 10 schools in the state that were awarded. And Toyota had made a commitment to the program at that time that they would at least fund us for 1 year. And the idea was you'll begin these academies. The academy itself, based on the Northern Kentucky model, is a 6-month program. It's 1 session a month, and each month it's a mini lesson for parents or guardians of 0 to 5-year-olds. And the lessons are intended to be quick, easy, non-intimidating, and focusing on those everyday things that you can do to help your child get ready for school.
Sure.
So the lessons were built around a national research-based model called Success by Six. And they kind of took that model and put it into small mini lessons. So they thought, well, it's good to have these lessons, but we want this to be a family experience. So they built in some other things around this. So we always start out the academy, each session, with a family dinner.
Oh, how nice.
So we have dinner together with the parents, grandparents, guardians, and their children. They eat together, then we separate them. The adults go into our library where they have a mini lesson. The children go with child care providers and they have fun. Then we bring everybody back together for an hands-on learning activity that they can take home and extend what they learned in the mini lesson at home. And we're talking easy things. You stop at a stoplight and you ask your preschooler, your 0 to 5-year-old, what shape is that sign? What color is that sign? Can we tell what the letters are on the sign?
Well, I actually have a 17-year-old that's driving, and I need to ask him what happens with you when you come to a stop sign also. Because I don't think he grasps the concept of the red stop sign that you should stop and it says stop. So, you know, I mean, so maybe he should go back to the Lawrence
kind of a
Academy.
yield sign right now.
But, I mean, when you're talking about new Common Core standards that Kentucky adopted a few years ago, when you start looking at things kindergartners have to know when they exit kindergarten, then you begin understanding the importance of preparing early.
Absolutely. And then also getting the parents and the grandparents and the guardians involved.
Getting them
at such a young
board.
age. I mean, there's so much they do have to know, and then, like I said, it's so important to get that involved.
Absolutely. And using the research-based model, Success by Six, there's lots of good solid information in there that is research-based, evidence-based. We know that it works with parents and guardians. First session is basically an overview of what's to come and what they can expect. The second session, which we will be having on October 16th, our first one was last week, or 2 weeks ago now, on the 18th. And we meet one Thursday a month. And next couple weeks, our next session is all about building relationships. Thinking about those things that you do with your children very early on to establish that connection and the importance of that connection in regards to brain development, and how do we make sure that those connections are positive, that they're leading to development for a child, so that when they come into a classroom, they're more ready to build relationships with their teacher, with their classmates, with the people in the building. Very important. So we talk about emotional development. We talk about what to expect at different age levels with the children with that session. And we then bring parent and child back together, and we have a little demonstration on some things that you can do to help build relationships.
Now, you were speaking about how Toyota funded this for 1 year.
1 year.
So have they not continued to fund this?
Actually, they did. The first year we received a check for $11,500. Last year we received only half of that.
Okay.
This year we received half of that again, $3,000. And thank goodness this gal came into the picture, and our local United Way stepped up to the plate and funded us with another $3,000.
Because education is so important, and like you're saying, especially at this early level, you know, and that is where, like I said, getting the local United Way involved and filling in these gaps where these, like I said, where it starts out to fund such a wonderful program, and obviously, like you were saying, where the need was, you know, you definitely needed it, where you said the number was 60-something% was not ready to go on to kindergarten. I mean,
and it's that, it wasn't just that high at Crabb, it was that high in the state.
Absolutely. I mean, so
we
clearly
were finding
it was
kids coming to public schools just not quite ready, whether it was cognitively not ready, emotionally not ready, just a number of factors. And obviously at Crab we saw that even more so because there is such a population of at-risk kids at that school.
And that's what's great about the United Way, like I said, is because you are sort of this overseeing organization that takes these different other organizations that are under you, and you sort of you can find that need.
Right. Yeah. And I think it's it's important for me to say that one, early education is an extremely important issue for not just our United Way, but many United Ways, most United Ways, across the state, across the nation, around the world. Because I know I was recently in a conference where someone threw out the statistic of the fact that researchers are now saying that they can determine whether a child will be successful in school and whether that child is likely to drop out of school by first grade. And that goes very much in line with what Jerry's saying in terms of how many children she talked about that had to be held back at the kindergarten level. So if we can reduce some of the issues prior to a child going to school, when they're at their most open, they're most ready to learn, and we can bring not just parents but caregivers as well. I know Jerry and I are going to talk in a little bit, I think, about some of the great work that's being done in our area on with grandparents raising grandchildren, which is something that it just happens across the state. It's not necessarily a good or a bad issue. It's just people have working families and they need to. I always tell people when I'm talking about born learning or we're talking about grandparents raising grandchildren that it's a different world than when I went to school. And I think Brittany was just shortly behind me there. Kindergarten for me was we went half a day, we took a nap, we finger painted. I'm pretty sure your parents would send you thinking you're going to learn how to tie your shoes in kindergarten and your alphabet. And if children don't know the basics before they enter kindergarten now, they're already going to be behind.
Absolutely.
They need to already not only know their alphabet and some numbers, but they need to be able to start recognizing words.
Absolutely, and hit the ground running.
Yeah, it's a completely different world, but the United Way got behind this, and I should say, we keep our ear to the ground. It's our job there at the United Way office to keep our ear to the ground with the agencies and organizations as to what's going on. But if we didn't have such a phenomenal supportive board of directors, what we do is really it's through their guidance, and they've always been behind early education issues and initiatives. So we love this program. Toyota is a phenomenal partner all across the state. They work with United Way of Kentucky. They work with pretty much all of our United Ways in Kentucky, and this program has just
it started out being called Toyota Born Learning Academies, but from the very beginning, United Way of Kentucky was involved. It was just that the funding stream for the most part was coming from Toyota. And in the last couple of years, there's been several things that have taken place. One, the state of Kentucky applied for a Race to the Top grant and was awarded that grant. Part of that grant now is funding more Born Learning Academies. So you not only have the one at Crab Elementary School now, but our district received a second grant for the South Ashland Family Resource Center, and her program is going to focus on Born Learning Academies, particularly for the parents that are at Safe Harbor, and she'll be catering to that population of parents. One of the things that was different for us this year to get used to was the change of branding, the change in names. We went from Toyota Born Learning Academy to this year being called United Way Born Learning Academy, driven by Toyota. We can't forget that part. But it's the local United Way is that agency that money stays home. And through that, we are able to do significant programs for our parents and our grandparents, our foster parents, relatives that are raising kids, and that's happening more and more each day.
Absolutely.
But But we start out, like I said, with 6 sessions. The first one is an overview. Second one that we've got coming up in a few days, building relationships. Then we go into talking about how do children actually learn? How does the brain help us to learn? So we talk about early brain development. And when you get to talking about brain development, you can't talk about that in the same breath without also talking about that emotional attachment and how that plays into making sure that every time you make that connection, that you're making a connection that is strong, that is positive, that is nurturing, that is nurturing. So then we have sessions on routines and the importance of routines, getting to bed on time, getting in bed and taking a bath and laying your clothes out, all
and
those
making your
things.
bed. Come on, now, you say making your
All
bed
of
because
those
my kids
things.
are watching this. They're gonna want to hear that making your bed, so that I don't sound like such a monster because we're still making.
all those
making your bed
little-
is important because that starts your day off.
It's all those little things that help parents in the morning not to be as stressed in getting their children ready for school. We have a session on nutrition and well-being. There's lots to this program, but the key is taking all of that content and making it something that is non-threatening in the school environment that we hope that will become their home school when they're ready to come to kindergarten. Having meals in our cafeteria so even the little ones learn how to go through the cafeteria line and hold a tray and all those fun things that comes with being in school. And it's giving parents the incentive to come. And that they know that they will learn some things. I even have, actually I have 11 people, 11 parents enrolled in this group. There's plenty of room for more.
Do they have to be at Craft? Do they have to be Craft elementary parents?
They do not. They can be anywhere from the county.
And
of course, we want to recruit them to come to Craft School, but they can be from anywhere in the county. The program is totally free as a result of our United Way funding. They go through the 6 sessions, and then in the spring we have a graduation ceremony.
Which is great.
And the parents receive a certificate. I have a foster parent that is in this group that is repeating. She missed a couple of sessions last time around and called and said, "Can I come back?" I said, absolutely, bring it on.
So how does someone get a hold of you?
They can call me at the Ashland Family Resource Center at 327-2748.
All right,
and we'll be happy to sign them up for the next session.
Get them into the program.
And if you forget that number, of course you've got the United Way number. We'll always point you in the right direction.
Exactly, and I believe that the numbers for the United Way are like coming across the screen.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure Hank has got that.
We'll say 606-325-1810.
There you go.
And just remember, it's taking everyday learning moments and doing something positive with those.
Exactly, making them possible. Thank you so much, Jerry. I
You're
really
more than
appreciate your
welcome.
time. And we are going to go to the 2 of us for a song. And after that, we will be back. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was absolutely wonderful. I think I pointed out earlier that that young lady is Erica Berry with her husband Michael Berry, and they sing as a duet obviously called Two of Us. And Erica is our director of financial operations at the office, and I make her do that all the time, constantly. That's the only thing, you know. And then she throws things at me, but she still sings.
But she still sings while she's throwing. So I mean, you know, it's
she can still hold the tune.
The good with the bad, exactly. I remember when I was doing the interview with you, and you were talking about Erica. Whatever I said, oh, you mean like right across the hallway?
Right across the hallway,
exactly,
Erica. Yeah.
Erica. Well, that's nice. It's a bonus. I mean, Hank will do a little dance every once in a while when we work together. But I mean, yeah, but he doesn't sing or do anything cool like that. But yeah, no. And you know, Keith, I don't really think I don't know. You have some special talents, I guess. You'll do a little tap dance every once in a while. Yeah, exactly. But other than that, you know, I guess that all they do is they harass me.
Yeah,
that's pretty
absolutely.
Much it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah.
You know, I could use Erica's talent as a segue to something. We've got Jerry sticking with us here.
All right.
Because Jerry and I've been kind of taking part in a new initiative that is, you know, one of the things that I think that United Way does so well is again talking about that ear to the ground, being sort of that one agency that kind of umbrellas so many other agencies. We get to interact with all of these different groups, and everybody has their passion, you know, whether it's homelessness or whether it's clothing children or getting food in their bellies or just so many different things. We're able to work with these organizations and try to sometimes look at these special projects, special initiatives, things that somebody's maybe tried to get off the ground, and it needs more focus, it needs more volunteers, it needs more funding. You know, I always point out to everybody we can all sit there and pick these different issues, different topics, different things that somebody should do something about. I constantly refer to that, and anytime I'm talking to people, somebody says, somebody should be doing something about this. And there are organizations doing something about it. So one thing that Jerry and I have been working on, and this is in conjunction with WellCare, which is one of our Kentucky Medicaid companies, one of the Kentucky MCOs. WellCare came to us about 2 months ago, and maybe a little longer, but she said, we want to do a project in Boyd County, and then we want to kind of pilot it there and then possibly spread it to your other counties. But this project is really up to your community. We would like to facilitate a session where we identify with some of your community leaders and your social service groups of an issue that, and it's not something we're going to solve, but it's something that we could potentially throw some recognition to, bring an awareness to, and maybe slightly move the needle. So this group met. Erica was in that group with us, and Jerry was in the session with us, and one of the things that we identified as a problem throughout, and again, I hate to refer to it as a problem, but something that's definitely causes difficulties, and that's that grandparents as parents issue. Now, some of these grandparents may be feeling in as parent because the son or daughter is in jail or is, you know, absent. So there's those extreme issues, and then, you know, they're just at this, you know, in this day and time, both parents have to work.
Exactly.
And grandma, grandpa become primary caregiver. And Jerry was able to, you know, to bring to the table that there is a group that works with Boyd and Greenup County grandparents, and it's a Greenup and Boyd County GAP group, GAP, Grandparents as Parents. And this group, kind of ran by some of the, I guess, a conglomerate kind of the Family Resource Center directors, is, how often do they meet, Jerry? Once every couple of months or so? And
well, we started out several years ago calling it Grandparents as Parents, and quickly learned that it's more than just grandparents. So we broadened the kind of scope, and so now it's guardians as parents, because you have foster parents, you have grandparents, you have aunts and uncles,
anybody, right?
We even have a number of distant relatives raising kids. So it basically stands for anyone other than a biological parent who's today raising a child and taking care of that child. It started out with resource centers. We quickly knew that we couldn't handle it all on our own, so we invited other folks to the table. So 5Co Area Development Office with their aging program became involved, and the County Extension Office became involved. So the idea was we wanted to put some support services out there for the folks who were raising these kids. And we have found that, yes, incarceration is an issue sometimes with parents, grandparents raising their kids. But we also had a number of parents in the last decade who are raising kids because the parents are deployed. Both mom and dad deployed. We had early deaths, and grandparents had to step in and take over. And like Jerry says, we have a lot of parents that oftentimes it's taken both parents working 2 and 3 jobs to make ends meet.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
and can't afford, you know, outside daycare, and then the family members have stepped up to, you know, to take on the child care role.
Right.
And again, daycare is another program that continues to get funding cuts.
Cut.
You know, Lawrence County, Kentucky recently lost their last daycare center, their last child care center. So, you know, how difficult that is. That, let's say you're a single mother trying to work and live in Lawrence County, Kentucky. Who's gonna take care of your child? It's gonna be a family member, a friend. It's gonna be a substitute alternative caregiver for that time period. So this is the child care issue. Obviously, is something that's extremely important to us, and providing the support to these grandparents and caregivers is it's crucial.
It's crucial. What we find that they come to us most saying is a need is that respite for them. I have not just grandparents raising grandkids, I have great-grandparents raising grandkids. And these are folks who are in their years of retirement, who were expecting to maybe do other things with their lives other than raising kids again.
And they have a 5-year-old. That's right. An energetic 5-year-old. An
energetic 5-year-old who needs a lot of entertainment. Today's world takes a lot of energy and time, and these kids sometimes come with emotional, behavioral issues that grandparents are not accustomed to. So we found that they just need a lot of support, a lot of information, whether it be, okay, I had to go pick up my grandchild, but what do I do about school? What do I do about medical care? The whole issue of guardianship, legal fees to become a guardian. So we started doing workshops, meetings, and that became a one-day conference, and we thought, no, it's beyond that, the need's beyond that. So right now, the Northeast GAP group has 4 sessions a year with topics that the folks themselves have told us they are interested in. We go out and find the presenters for the topics. The resource centers kick in a little bit of money. Out of the goodness of their hearts, the Extension Office gives us their facility to hold the sessions. The Aging Council kicks in a little bit of money. So we run these 4 sessions on
very little. Let me tell you, nobody's better at making a dollar stretch than a social worker or any of these service groups. They can beg and borrow with the best of them.
And how do people find out about when these sessions are? Because I'll tell you what, you know, my husband is a physician, and he sees, you know, this is something that he sees on a daily basis, and I think it is more and more and more. I mean, he works in the operating room, and he's an anesthesiologist, and he sees the parents, and we're basically now it's the grandparents and these alternate caregivers come in with these young children, you know, because they have to come in with a guardian to sign, you know, their papers, you know, for releases, and he's just blown away at the number and the increasing number daily, and you can see on their faces the concern, and then the worry, and the stress, and just, that they're, what do they do? And I mean, and he's concerned for them. I mean, he knows that there probably are concerned about how do I manage this? So how can people find you guys?
Well, we and to that point, that was one of the things that I think that when we determined this subject as something that we needed to further address in the community, we looked at not only the educational strain that it has on a child that's getting prepared for school or trying to go to school, and the grandparents in terms of, this type of an issue, particularly for a low-income family, is going to present multiple issues. Not just the fact that it's not just a matter of there's a grandparent raising a grandchild and there's maybe some difficulties trying to get that child prepared for school, but there's also medical issues. If we often hear about there are senior citizens who are trying to determine, do I buy food or do I buy medicine this month? Well, you add the additional financial cost of a child in the home.
Exactly.
And, that decision's made for you. Sure. There's also, that emotional, like you said, the emotional strain and the stress that comes, it's going to exacerbate the medical issues. So we just felt that this was a great issue, a great topic for us to look at. And so what we're doing in conjunction with WellCare and this GAP group at United Way is we're looking at taking this fabulous criteria, this program that they've developed with Family Resource Centers, and kind of developing a training session, and we sort of are piggybacking off of the way that Toyota Born Learning did their program. We have created an educational program. We bring in the experts in their communities, train them on this, and let them bring this to their community. Our idea is the GAP sessions, if you can get there, great, you get to attend that. What if you're out in the county somewhere you can't afford gas, you can't go? We're wanting to pilot 3 churches to begin with throughout Boyd County and utilize this program and develop it in a way that we can train some of the clergy or the pastors and staff of that church to partner with us and offer this type of a session once a month or twice a month there for their congregation or anybody in the community. So for example, let's say you have a Wednesday night Awana or a youth meeting, maybe while the kids are off doing a project and things like that, you get the grandparents or the caregivers aside, have a cup of coffee, and let's talk about what are the issues you're dealing with right now. Let's talk about this criteria. So we're really excited about this program.
Absolutely. And then they become a referral source back to the resource centers or back to the homeless education program, back to the aging council, to say, if you need assistance beyond what we can give you with the support here tonight at our church program, here's where you go out in the community.
Yes.
So for folks looking for assistance with grandparents or just someone they need to talk with,
sure,
they can call resource centers at their schools, and all of our schools in Ashland, Boyd County, Greenup County have resource centers. They can pick up the phone, call their school system, and they'll link you up with us. One of the issues that makes this such a prominent and timely issue to cover is that if you look at changing census data, Boyd County, Greenup County has one of the highest populations of grandparents raising grandchildren in the state.
Wow. So you can see why this is such a big issue. A big issue for us.
It's phenomenal right now.
We're really excited about it. So thank you, Jerry.
Yes, thank you very much.
We really appreciate it.
Happy to be here.
And
give to your United Way.
Exactly, give to United Way. It's so important, especially like I said, if this is something that affects you or affects someone that you know of, and I know that it certainly does, like I said, because I see it more and more. I know my husband sees it. I know you guys are definitely out there on the front lines, and you see it. It is important. It's so important to give. And right now we are going to go to a music break, and then we will be back.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
for the the inaugural Kentucky Hope-A-Thon that's going to benefit United Way of Northeast Kentucky. I think we're now in hour 2, and or I guess we've wrapped up the first part of hour 2, and now we're getting into hour 3. So Erica tells me off camera, because Erica handles all the money, that we are up to $200, and so that's really exciting that we've already done $200. But again, like we talked before, this is going to be archived, so whenever you watch it, if you watch it tomorrow, if you're watching it live, or you watch it tomorrow, you watch it next week, or even next year, you can still call 606-325-1810 and make a pledge. Give us a call, and we'll be happy to walk you through that process. So we do have some volunteers right now at our office. If you're watching live and want to make a pledge, you can call that office, and they will make the pledge. We've got phone numbers, I think, at the bottom of the screen, right, Hank? So, well, with me right now, I have Marla Gearhart, who's the new director, fairly new. You're kind of like me, Marla. It's like you're new, but you're not new. I started with United Way in a 1.5 years, and you became the new director at YMCA.
March 1st was my first initial
March
day.
1st, so I just got a little bit of time on you, but we're kind of the new girls.
Yes, we are.
So, well, that's good. So tell us about some of the really exciting things that YMCA is doing, and what you guys have going on.
Okay. We have a lot going on at the Y right now. We have our swim team, our Barracudas that are doing very well in state meets and individual meets. We have our aerobics program. We're gearing up for our fall and winter season right now. Sports is going on. We're registering for our youth basketball program, and then we'll move into indoor soccer. So we're with aerobics and our child care and our youth sports and our swim team. There's a lot to do and a lot going on at the YMCA.
The Y always has so much going on, and it's just such a phenomenal facility, a big facility. Again, our own busy little bee, Erica Berry, teaches an aqua aerobics class there a couple of nights a week. So she's a little busy, I think,
She's
sometimes.
everywhere.
Between the singing and between the swimming around and doing exercise and all that, she just stays busy. But, you know, the Y just offers so many different classes and so many different opportunities. And I know that you guys do a lot also with child care.
Yes, we do. We have our preschool licensed child care program, and we also have our after-school program from kindergarten through 6th graders, and then we also have our summer day camp and our day camp programs. And that's one reason why it's so important for me to be here tonight, and just thank you all for your continued support for the YMCA, and to ask you all to donate, because without the funds from the YMCA, we would not be able to scholarship children in our daycare programs, our after-school programs, and our summer day camp programs. And this helps grandparents who are raising kids in the summer. The kids are out, the grandparents, one's trying to take care of the other, and what are we going to do with the kids? We're just going to let them sit there? No. With United Way funds, we were able to scholarship over 25 kids in our summer day camp program, which is huge. It's 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., and we allowed them to come every day, 25 children. In our after-school program, United Way allows us to scholarship right now. We've got 4 kids in our after-school program that are scholarship by United Way dollars. Without United Way and without you all giving and you donating, we wouldn't be able to do this, and we can't do this alone. And with United Way and the YMCA being such huge staples for years in the community, we have a great partnership, and what everyone needs to understand out there is every dollar counts. And whether it's 5, 10, 15, it doesn't matter, because you can make someone's day, whether it be an adult or a child, but it is needed, and we just want to thank you all so much for what you're doing just to keep the continued support and allow us to do the service to the community that we've been able to do over the past couple of years.
We thank you for that, Marla. Yeah, again, I always go back to when I'm talking to different groups, whether it's a campaign, talk out at one of our partner agencies or partner organizations. I always say that United Way, and we always refer to me as, me or Erica, but United Way is you guys. It's everybody. Marla is a part of United Way, not just in the fact that she is a recipient, but United Way employees YMCA employees participate in United Way giving. They understand that I can give to something that's given back to me, and it's such a beautiful thing to see that people are so giving. You said it, $5 might not make, you may think, well, $5 doesn't make a whole lot, but if everybody in this room right now gives $5, you know what, we could go fill up the tank of gas and get somewhere.
Absolutely.
So that's the beauty, I think, of United Way, is that it does bring that stuff together. And we couldn't, what we do is a matter of funding, but what could we do if we didn't have these programs and the people like
like you that have that passion and that drive to see these programs grow and develop and just continue to address the issues that people are out there dealing with. So thank you guys for what you do.
You're very welcome.
And I'm excited because I would by no means call myself a yoga expert, but I would say that I'm someone who really, really enjoys it when I do it. My husband is a lot better at it than I am, and he used to laugh when I first started doing some yoga. He used to think, yeah, okay, you know, breathing and meditating or something like that. And then he started doing yoga, and he could say that, I mean, he suddenly became, you know, he's always worked out and you know, but at a certain point you get muscular and you can't, he's like, I couldn't reach around and really scratch my shoulder, but yoga really helped him become more flexible and just, you know, he was just amazed. Now he loves it. And like I said, he can do some of the headstands and fancy stuff that I can't do. But YMCA's Catherine Cook is going to do a demonstration, a yoga demonstration for us right now. So this is going to be pretty exciting. So Catherine, if you'll come on over and join us. That was phenomenal. Catherine, you have such like great form. I could never do any of that well. So it's I was off camera eating a Chick-fil-A chocolate chip cookie. Is that okay to admit? Well, somebody was doing yoga, but you know it was really tasty and that was so. But well, I mean that's just a sample of some of the classes, even because you guys offer yoga.
Yes, we
right?
do. Yes.
Do you know what the days and times of that class is?
Catherine, you want to tell? What's the days and times of that? Of yoga? Tuesday, Thursdays at 10 a.m. and Monday, Wednesday, 5:30 to 6:30.
Well, there
so,
you go.
There you go. Come on out.
That's
Join.
awesome. And the thing is, you know, about yoga is that you can, I mean, it's just, it stretches you out, and it, you know, you could do what Catherine's doing, and if you can, then God bless you. But if, you know, even if it's just getting down and doing some of the stretches and just trying, yoga's a lot of practice. The more you do it, it seems like the better you get. Yeah. So, and you can do it to any types of music. And speaking of music, maybe you could do it to some of Bronson's music, because we've got 3 songs, I think, coming up from Bronson Bush. And we'll, is he coming on now, Hank, or are we going? We can keep talking. All right. Well, we can keep talking while Bronson gets set up. So tell us a little bit then, while we're talking about some of this. Tell us a little bit. We were talking about the child care program, and you were talking about those kids that go through that summer program and things like that, because summer programs seem to be such a huge, like you were saying, how the grandparents and parents and different, they need something for those kids to do. Tell us a little bit about what you see out of that.
Okay, and it's also about giving them a safe place to learn, grow, and thrive at the YMCA that they might not have the opportunity. And one thing that we're very thankful for the United Way is because regardless of individuals in the community, regardless of their background or income, they have the opportunity, the same opportunity that kids who are fortunate have. And that's to attend the YMCA, pick up and learn healthy habits that could really form their life, mold their life forever. And trying to get kids to get started on those healthy habits, regardless of income, regardless of background, everybody needs the same chance. And that's what United Way allows the YMCA to do. Regardless of income, regardless of background, allows us to give adults and children the opportunity to learn, grow, and thrive in the same environment. And that's something that we're very, very proud of. And one thing else I want to mention, if it's okay, we have scholarships at the YMCA. And if you can't afford a membership, you can go to the front desk, you can ask for a scholarship form, you can fill it out, and we'll get back with you on how much you have to pay, or if it's going to be for free, and we'll give you a membership. So that's something else that United Way dollars, without you all, we would not be allowed to do that, and we couldn't do that. So it's we're living united, and that's what it's about. The entire community, whether it be the YMCA, Clean Start, CASA, it takes all of us to build a healthy and a great community. Healthy and great community. And it starts, and it gives us the opportunity to start with the children. And that's what we want to do. We start with the children, and we teach them, give back. Yeah. Give back. You've been very fortunate. You've had opportunities. Give back to those who aren't. And that's what the United Way and the YMCA have had a partnership for years. We're very proud of the job you and Erica are doing. And we're proud to be a part of this community, and we thank Hank for allowing us to do this evening and promoting the United Way. And please donate. I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Every dollar counts. Every dollar can make someone's day, whether it be a child or adult. So please donate because you have just no idea how you're impacting someone's life.
Thank you so much, Marla. You know, I love the enthusiasm and the passion that all of our agency directors have for their programs and what they do. And it certainly shows in everything that when you talk about what your programs and YMCA does, all of your passion and enthusiasm shows. So thank you guys. And so I think that Bronson's ready now, and we're going to hear a few songs from Bronson, and maybe you might try some of those yoga moves. Who knows? So enjoy.
don't know why I'm over the moon each time. But when you're gone, even the blue skies blue, even the blue skies blue, even the blue skies blue. I think I'll play one of my favorite old classic country songs. Hope you enjoy it. Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone. Let's pretend that we're together all alone. I'll tell the man to turn the jukebox way down, and you can tell your friend there is you'll have to go. Whisper to me, tell me, do you love me true? Or is he holding you the way I do? Though love is blind, make up your mind, I've got you to know. Should I hang up, or will you tell him I have to go? You can't say the words I want to hear while you're with another man. Do you want the answer, yes or no? Darling, I will understand. Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone. Let's pretend that we're together all alone. I'll tell the man to turn the jukebox way down low, and you can tell your friend there with you, you'll have to go. Thank you. This is one I wrote with some good friends of mine. I live in Nashville now, as you guys may know, maybe not. But this is one I wrote with some good friends of mine down there. It's called Slide. I woke up with this feeling, everything was alright. Swimming in sunshine with the radio high. You and me got everything, nothing on our minds. All I wanna do, all I wanna say is come on, baby, slide. Slide with me through this big old life slide. Take a chance on love, send to the moonlit sky on a magic carpet ride. Roll with me tonight. Come on, baby, slide. We'll take it nice and easy, live it up some more. With a little breeze, we can let our spirits soar. 'Cause all that we got going on is all we're living for. We got ourselves a flow, yeah, we gotta go. So come on, baby, slide. Slide with me to this big old life slide. Take a chance on love, and sail into the moonlit sky on a
I want to give a couple thank yous to Mayor Bill Hawkins, who's the Russell mayor here, and also the Russell City Council. Also, Carolyn Buckholtz, who is the Senior Citizens Director here. And again, we are using the Russell Senior Citizen Center as our venue tonight, which has been wonderful. They have hosted us here all evening, and it has been a fantastic place to have this here this evening. And also Ruth Hopkins, she's been here. I just saw her. She was actually back here in the kitchen consolidating.
She's working her butt off.
That's right, consolidating all the food that we have been eating tonight, which has been from Papa John's and Subway at Flatwoods and Chick-fil-A, which has been excellent. So, which like you were eating a cookie while she was doing yoga, and I was eating pizza. So don't feel bad. So I did want to say thank you to everybody there, and of course the Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital for being a sponsor, and who else am I forgetting? Who else?
Yeah. Well, Our Lady, let me say this, Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital continues to be one of the top 10 giving organizations for United Way of Northeast Kentucky, and we so much appreciate it. I think they're getting ready to kick their campaign off in October, and late October, I should say, and they always do a fun campaign with a big spinning wheel and prizes and things like that to award those employees. And a lot of organizations do that, which makes a campaign more fun for the employees. It kind of incorporates it, I think, into your employee corporate culture to give those employees a little incentive and thank them for giving. So thanks to Our Lady of Bellefonte Hospital for their sponsorship. And of course the Greenup Beacon. None of this would be happening if it wasn't for Hank Bond, and his head is swelling as we say that.
Exactly. He's not going to be able to fit out the door tonight with that big head of his.
Absolutely. And I have to tell a funny little story, if I can, really quick, about Bronson. And this is probably going to be something I'm sure he doesn't know this. But I remember it's been probably maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I was a guest judge at the Greenup County Old Fashioned Days. And now, I might get in trouble some for saying, but I remember thinking, as we were judging, there was 3 of us judging, and so I would not give a 10 to anybody if they didn't play an instrument, just because I'm a music lover, and I felt like, that takes it a step above and beyond to me. If you're singing along to a soundtrack, you have a beautiful voice, and that's great. But I feel like an instrument is important. That just takes it to a different level. Well, here comes, no offense, some kids up on the stage with some instruments, and you think, okay, what are we ready for? And here's this redheaded kid, and he's got a guitar in his hand, and they proceeded to, there was no riff on the joint, but it would have been blown off had they, and everybody was just like, these are some kids. They're very young, teenagers, but needless to say, Bronson and his band, they won, and the thing that I loved about it, the cutest thing to me, was that out of everybody that won, whether they won first place, second place, age categories or whatever, Bronson and his band members, they came over and was okay. So I didn't realize that young little Mr. Stevens over there was also a member of that band. So, but they came over, and they thanked me, and they thanked all of us judges, and they said, "Thank you so much. We really appreciate this. It means so much to us." And it was just a really touching thing to see somebody, this young man with manners. We had that lesson with the etiquette earlier about etiquette and manners. So Bronson, it's good to see you doing well, and thank you for being here tonight.
Yes, you're very talented, and you have a very proud grandfather who I guess goes to our church. He's super excited, that you come and you play and you've been on our show. He just glows with excitement,
Grandparents will just do that.
Exactly.
You just have to love them and accept it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
but we're very thankful to have you here tonight. Thank you so much for being here. All right, so next up we have Sherry Seagraves, right?
Yes.
And you are with Clean Start?
Yes.
Okay, super.
Yes.
So why don't you tell us, well, first off, a little bit about yourself before we get started in what you do.
Well, I am the director of Ashland Area Presbyterian Ministries, which that is an organization that has been around for quite a few years. We have just recently, about a year and a half ago, started a new program down at the neighborhood called Clean Start. And Clean Start is really geared toward the very low income and homeless population. We have a few different services that benefit the people down at the neighborhood. We have showers. Actually, we have 2 private bathrooms.
Okay.
Where people who don't have a place to go, people who are out on the street and just don't have a place to clean up other than public restrooms or whatever, they can come to our place. They can use our facilities. We have towels, we have hygiene items, we have everything they need to groom themselves with dignity and not
have to do it in a public, like you said, like in a public restroom, and it makes a big difference, you know, to get a hot shower. I mean,
a hot shower in the winter, a cold shower in the summer when it feels really good. It makes, I mean, there's really, you can tell people feel better whenever they leave.
Sure, absolutely. And where is this? Where are these showers located?
Well, the neighborhood is down at 25th and Carter Avenue in the old Johnson's Dairy building. It's in the neighborhood along with a number of other agencies, such as CARES, the Community Kitchen, the Dressing Room, and River City's Harvest.
Okay.
Back in 2004, all of our agencies went together and bought the old Johnson's Dairy building to renovate it to make a one-stop shop for people so that they won't. A lot of the people that we serve don't have transportation, so they are walking all over town, and at that point they were having to walk from CARES at one place down to the Community Kitchen, which was about 14th, and CARES was at 23rd, and the dressing room was probably around 19th.
Scattered all over town.
And
everything was.
And a lot of people also have disabilities and aren't really able to walk that much.
That was a very wise purchase. Definitely.
Yeah, and in the winter, you know, well, anytime. In the summer it's too hot, in the winter it's too cold. I mean, it's just, it was a really great thing that finally came to fruition.
Yes, definitely.
It took a long time. I mean, we bought the building in 2004, and then there were weekly fundraising meetings for many years.
Sherry and I sit on the board of the neighborhood together, and so we're constantly trying to cook up new ways that we can you know, continue to bring funding to the neighborhood. Other, you know, I mean, of course, United Way helps to provide funding to these agencies, but, you know, just like any other organization, it takes more and more and more to keep those, and it's a large building. Keep the lights on, you know, just alone, and a building like that running takes a lot. And Clean Start, you know, one of my favorite stories that I relate to Clean Start to a lot of our community investors is that I was there one day at the neighborhood, and there was an older couple that was sitting outside the Ashland Community Kitchen waiting for them to open for, it was actually for dinner on a Tuesday night. And there was a young man, really nice, clean shaven, and had a nice haircut, and he was standing there, and the older man, he says, "Boy, I just about didn't recognize you." He said, "Weren't you down here the other day, and you had long hair, and you had some beard?" And he said, "Yeah, I come down from Ohio, been struggling." He's like, "But I've got a job interview," and I went in there, and he points to Clean Start. I went in there, and he gave me his haircut, and he was a little shy, kind of, but he was shy about it, but he was proud of it. And everybody's just bragging on how nice he looked and how good he looked, and you wouldn't have looked at him and ever have imagined that, you know, a few days earlier he might have, you know, looked, you know, more unkempt or whatever you want to call it, but you could see the pride. You could see the pride.
Absolutely.
You could see that he felt good about himself. Now, were you going to feel good about yourself if you were going into a job interview, you know, with, you know, there's those days that I don't wash, you think, oh, I can get by without washing my hair today. And by 3 o'clock, you're thinking, why didn't I wash my hair last night? I feel yucky now. You can imagine if it's been how long since you've been able to
because
do
you
that.
don't have access to those facilities, you know, because you are homeless, or because you didn't have the money to pay those bills, and those you know utilities have been shut off.
And that's what Clean Start. That's what Clean Start. I mean, it's such a simple concept. Showers and restrooms.
in a place. Now, I think the hairdressing place is just awesome. How
Yeah.
often are they there? And tell us a little bit about those volunteers.
Well, actually, we have been blessed with 7 volunteer hairdressers. Although, if anyone wants to volunteer, we still have some spots open. Yes. But we have 7 volunteer hairdressers, and one of them comes once a month, and one of them comes once a week, and some of them come every other week, and we're really flexible, you know, however much or however little they want to volunteer. But we are a licensed beauty salon in the state of Kentucky, and so yeah, so all the people who volunteer for us are actually licensed hairdressers and, you know, professionals, so they know what they're doing, and we don't just have somebody in there.
It would be like me, who can't, you know, I can't even draw a straight line with a ruler, so you wouldn't want me to be here.
That's right. Oh, no. So we have, right now, as of today, a hairdresser in there every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Wow.
And we still have availability on Thursdays and Fridays. Although, like I said, if a hairdresser were looking for an opportunity, I might be able to juggle. I might be able to juggle some of the other volunteers around if I need to.
You know, plug you in.
You can never have enough volunteers.
Yeah.
You know, when you're volunteering, you have that. You have, you know, obviously you're well-meaning in it, but then maybe another priority takes place or something happens, you get called to your real job or something, and you're not able to fill that. And so, you know, backup volunteers are great. So.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, our volunteers do a great job. They come in, and we don't do perms or color or anything like that. We just do the basics.
Sure.
We cuts, styles, you know, shampoo, and you know, it really is heartwarming. I get to sit. I have a office that faces the hairdresser's station, and I just get to sit there and watch as people are transformed.
Absolutely transforming. I even know when I just get a haircut that it is transforming. I just feel so much.
You feel
lighter.
Yeah. Everybody says, I feel lighter.
I'm like, just cut off just the crunchy parts. I mean, just take off the crunch and, you know, and just go on about my business. And I do. I feel better, you know? And so I can even just not even imagine the transformative effects of what it would be like for someone that doesn't get a regular haircut. And I put mine off.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, me too.
And you know,
I know.
I'm going to say, to me, the giving and the volunteering of those hairdressers, it's just so, to me that's awe-inspiring. And I think it's because, and I think Sherry would agree with me, you've worked in the services, in the social services area for a long time. You know that people become jaded, and you hear the jaded comments, and I can understand at a certain point, you know, where that happens, but how many people walk by a homeless person or somebody who's struggling on the street, and you think, oh, I would, you know, maybe I'll give them $1, maybe, but maybe I don't want to shake their hand because it's dirty, or these, you know, and to think that these hairdressers are saying, you know, I don't care. Sure. You need this service. I'm going to help you with this service, and I think to me there's something even empowering about the fact that, you know, I care enough that I'm going to get here and put my hands in your hair. We're going to clean this up, and we're going to get you, you know, to that empowered to move to that next level. And I think that's a really cool thing.
And I think that's what's been so nice about this whole evening here that we've had is just actually like opening my eyes even to all these different ways that people can get involved. By being a hairdresser, by, you know, and by doing yoga, or, you know, which obviously you don't want me to do yoga, but I mean, I could eat cookies while doing yoga, while watching someone else do yoga.
Only that works.
Well, exactly. But I mean, even with you know, with the Shoulder of Hope, with your extra pillows that you have, you know, stockpiled up or whatever, but there's so many other ways, not just, you know, by money donations, but by things that you have around the house or skill sets that you have. Just, we all do have a skill. We all do have some extra stuff lying around. We all do have something valuable that we can give to somebody that's less fortunate. And there's no better way if we have something broken inside of us to fix what we have broken, to turn our attention away from ourselves and give to somebody else. It fixes what's broken in us when we give to somebody else. It really does. It really is this transforming process, you know, within you to give to someone else. It makes you feel so much better.
Well, you know, we had a community day back in June. Fifth Third kind of Fifth Third Bank kind of helped to sponsor this up, and we invited a lot of our community partners, community agencies, and one of those partner agencies was Kentucky Power, of course, you know, an avid United Way supporter. So Kentucky Power was there, and the representatives, they were giving out light bulbs and things like that to clients as they come through the neighborhood. And they said, we need to do more. And so the next thing I know, they're telling me they did a toiletry drive for Clean Start. So shampoos, conditioners, you know, soap, things like that. You know, we often think of food drives, which are great, but then what else can we do?
Sure.
You know, and that toiletry drive is great. So if you travel and you get all those little
well, I'm just thinking that right now. I mean, I have a whole entire bathroom sink underneath it full of it.
Oh, bring it on over.
Oh, trust me, I'll be down. Trust me, because I do, and I'm always like taking it, but
you think you want it?
I think I do,
and then you don't use it when you get home.
We never do, because I always end up refilling the same bottle. I have one bottle that I really, really like, and I end up taking all my good stuff and I squirt it in there, and I'm like, and I want just that bottle, and I take that one, and all the rest of them just sit under there, and I'm always like, oh, I smell really nice, and I'll take that little. I don't use it.
Well, you know, that's actually some of the big needs that we never really completely are able to fulfill are cleaning supplies and hygiene items. The need is just so great. So if anybody out there,
toiletry items, exactly. We got pillows on the list. I mean, we're stacking up.
We're going to throw this out there. She says hygiene items, and everybody's going to laugh. Feminine hygiene items.
Oh, yes,
big
absolutely.
Issue. It's a big need.
Yes, feminine hygiene items.
You don't think about some of this stuff.
Sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure, like razors and
deodorant,
all that good stuff.
Oh yeah,
all those goodies.
Oh yeah, and then toilet paper.
Sure.
You know, you can't get that with food stamps.
No.
Any
paper.
No,
items,
any of those
like
things.
that.
No.
Nothing non-food.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you know.
So how can people find you if they want to call you up and say, hey, I've got this, or do you need this? How do they find you?
Well, our number is 324-5802.
Okay.
And our office hours are 10 to 1, Monday through Friday, down at the neighborhood, like I said, at 25th and Carter. But, you know.
Yeah. So, like I said, if you're a hairdresser, all right,
call me.
Call her up. And
call
we're
me.
Gonna pencil you in, and
you can volunteer as long as you want, or as
little,
exactly. Whatever.
We will work you in. So thank you so much for coming.
Oh, thank
we really
you.
appreciate having you here. And again, your name is Sherry Seagraves, and you are with Clean Start. And we are going to go to Bronson, and he is going to sing us 2 songs. All right, great. So he's going to sing us 2 songs. So I cannot wait to hear them. Thank you again so much.
Thank you.
I guess I have to do this one. Someone asked me to do this one, so here you go. Anyway, feel free to sing along if you know the words. This is by our good friend Johnny Cash. Hope you enjoy it. I was holding my pack along a dusty Winnemucca road when along came a semi with a high-end canvas-covered load. If you're going to Winnemucca Mac with me, you can ride. And so I climbed into the cab and then I settled down inside. He asked me if I'd seen a road with so much dust and sand, and I said, listen, I've traveled every road in this here land. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Crossed deserts, bare, man. Green mountain air, man. I traveled like I had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Reno, Chicago, Fargo, Minnesota, Boston, Toronto, Winslow, Sarasota, Wichita, Charleston, Iowa, Oklahoma, Tampa, Panama, Manila, Lavon, on the Bank, Bob, North Alabama, Amarillo, I've been everywhere, man.
Okay. Next up, we're going to have a song from the Stevens, right? Just one? Two songs. Okay. A little theme song, a little bit of extra entertainment. I love it. I was doing my jazz hands. I had to get those in there. That's what that was, yes. All right, everyone. I also wanted to thank earlier, I was doing my little list of thank yous, and I want to make sure I thank Keith Adkins, our cameraman. He's been doing an awesome job. Panning in, panning out, going this way, going that way.
He said he didn't have any talent.
That's right. I did say he didn't have any talent.
No, he said he didn't have any talent.
No, I think about also I was saying about, about the dancing or the not dancing. And
he's been dancing and zooming in and out.
And dancing in behind the camera.
Dances behind the camera, that's right. That's...
All right, so right now I'm here with Melissa Boggs. Right, I got it right, awesome. I'm doing great with the names so far this evening. I'm telling you what, because normally I can just shred them.
I'm not even going to point out the fact that you haven't written down. You're doing an awesome.
I'm doing a great job. I'm gonna whisper it in other places. Like, so what is it? I'm gonna write it down. But but still, I can butcher them anyway. I can see one thing and completely say another sometimes. You never know. All right, and you are with. Do I say it like the letters?
CASA.
CASA. All right. Or CASA. I don't know. So all right. So tell us. Number one, a little bit about yourself first.
Okay, well, I'm Melissa Boggs. I've been with CASA since July of this year.
Okay.
So I have a master's in social work, and I really enjoy working with CASA. It's new for me. It's kind of a change of career, but I love it.
So what is CASA?
Okay, we're the court-appointed special advocates. We work with children that are in the social services system.
Okay.
And we try to help the social workers, the judges, to make the best decision for these children as to what will happen next in their life. Where's the best placement for them?
Okay. So these are children, obviously, that I guess that come into the system, and
they come into the system. It's not their fault. Their parents have, problems. They come in because of neglect, abuse, and the children are pretty much lost when they come in because they don't understand. No matter how bad their family situation was, it was their home.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So CASA is sort of a point of contact and somebody that's there for them.
Mm-hmm.
And they really seem to enjoy their CASA volunteers.
Oh, I'm sure. Now, how many people actually work at CASA?
We have
volunteer, should I say?
Okay, we can have up to 25 volunteers.
Okay.
And right now we're recruiting for new volunteers. We just started a new volunteer class.
All right, great. So do you actually have employees and volunteers?
We have 2 employees.
Okay.
Myself and the director, Carol Adams.
Okay. So since you are recruiting for volunteers, how would someone get a hold of you?
You can call the CASA office, or you can stop by the courthouse. We're on the 2nd floor of the old courthouse in Catlettsburg.
Does anybody have to have any certain skill set or prerequisites to sort of come in and do this kind of work?
You just have to care about the children. We have volunteers from all walks of life. We have retired people, we have college students, we have professional people, college professors. We have some that work as a husband-wife team.
Okay.
So you can work by yourself or you can work with someone.
Mm-hmm. Now, and when these kids come, I assume these kids come into this system, and there can be all sorts of situations, but it can be pretty toxic environments that these kids come in, with drugs and of course with, like I said, neglect and all sorts of abuse.
Mm-hmm.
I can just imagine that this is a pretty sensitive, area to work in. And you said you had a master's in
social work.
Work, yeah. So you're pretty equipped to, I guess,
to deal with it.
to deal with this. As far as volunteering or resources, what types of things does this organization require?
You have to have a genuine interest in the children, and you have to be able to, keep it private because we deal with a lot of sensitive information. We have so many different types of volunteers. Some are quiet, some are very outgoing. We have both men and women, young and old.
And so are they able to go, are you going into court proceedings with these children?
Yes, we go to court. Each child will have a different court date, and you go to court on the day that your child is there.
Mm-hmm.
And I go every week to juvenile court.
And then you sit in there with them, and then...
Usually the children actually don't go to court. Most of the time you will just see the parents there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the judge will ask you you will have written a report, and you'll tell the judge your recommendation. And
when you're making a recommendation, you have met with the children, you usually met with the biological parents, the foster parents, talked to the schools, checked on medical records.
Wow. So you actually do all this, or your volunteers?
Our volunteers actually do all that.
Wow.
They're appointed by the court, by the judge.
Wow.
To do this.
This is a pretty serious.
Yeah. I think that sometimes, you know, we talk about volunteerism in the sense of, you know, it spans everything from, you know, here's $5.
Yeah.
That's, you know, supporting type of volunteerism to, you know, you go and, you know, you add some food to the canned food drive, or, you know, the toiletries to the toiletry drive. All of that's great. These types of volunteer projects and volunteer roles, really, it's a role that you play. They're time intensive, so I think to a certain degree they intimidate some people because
Sure.
they think, can I do it? Will I have enough time? But there is no better way to make a direct impact on the life of a child and the lives of families, but specifically the life of one child at a time, by volunteering to, you know, with CASA, Big Brothers Big Sisters, and all these organizations work very closely together. You know, you could be a Big Brothers Big Sisters mentor, and, you know, and then their CASA, you know, the child's CASA advocate is, you know, is there to support them through that process and going to court. But you are walking hand in hand with this child as their advocate. So yes, it may seem time intensive, and there's certainly expectations, but, you know, if you have a passion for volunteering and a passion to, I really truly, I want to walk the walk that, you know, and follow my words up with true actions, then, I mean, this is one way to really fulfill that, I think, because, I mean, it's a dedication,
Sure.
and it really makes a huge difference.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, being able to, you know, like I said, take one child and follow their story,
right?
You know, and like I said, because then you do have to interview their parents, their
Right.
teachers, their caregivers, their physician, their, you know, and get that whole entire picture and be their voice, because like you said, the children don't get to go into, and thank God, they don't get to go into the to the courtroom, because that is a really scary place for a kid, and to be that voice for them. I guess maybe I'm just blown away by the fact that that this is a volunteer type activity. I guess I'm totally being educated here. You know? And I guess again that is why we are all here tonight also, as part of this Kentucky, you know, Hope-a-thon, is to raise this type of awareness, this type of you know, level of support and you know, again, awareness. I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm blown away that this is here, and this is a fantastic program. And this is a fantastic thing that you do. I mean, it really is. And so you said you have a volunteer class that's coming up.
Yes, we our volunteers, before they start becoming an advocate, they go through 30 hours of training.
I would
25 in the classroom.
I would think so.
And they also attend court session with me, so that they understand what happens in court. And then usually I go out on a visit with them.
Okay, so you actually go to the home, or
go to the home. We go on different types of visits.
Okay, so, and even like whenever I guess they get turned loose, I mean, has there ever been any sort of instance, I mean, is this something that is like welcomed by the families?
It has been welcomed. I've since I'm new, I've met a lot of families in a short period of time, and they've all welcomed me, from you know, biological parents to foster parents. The children are always happy to see us.
Good. Well, that's fantastic. And again, how can someone reach you if they're interested in volunteering?
Just give us, you know, come and see us up at the courthouse, and we'll talk to you and give you an application.
And give you an application and get you set up to volunteer for a really unique and special program. This is a really, like I said, a very special thing, I think, that you're doing here. And
thank you.
I like it. I just never knew anything about it, and it really is a very different approach to being a volunteer, or you know, or something like I said about giving money or giving an item. This is definitely a time intensive, but I think it's probably a very rewarding
Giving of yourself.
Sure, absolutely.
You know, it's fun to sit and watch Brittany. You know, as we talked during the segment a couple weeks ago on the Greenup Beacon, and you know, we talked about some of these programs, but it was just me talking. It wasn't our agencies that are directly dealing with these issues and these clients and people every day. And they have so much, like I said, they have so much passion, so much drive, enthusiasm for what they do. And you know, your eyes were being opened, you said, you know, to so many programs. And I know tonight, to see that sinking in, you know, Melissa attended recently with some of her social work students our United Way Seeing is Believing tour that we do annually in the fall. We do this every September. We do it over 3 different days. We offer people 3 different days that they can come, and we take them. You know, fortunately, the city of Ashland donates a bus to us, and we're able to take people around to some of our agencies. And you know, Melissa came on that tour with us and stuff. And what I always say is everybody leaves out of there. You know, Melissa is with an agency, and she knows what a lot of these agencies do, but most of the people that are on that bus are from businesses, organizations that, you know, from AK Steel to Marathon to KDMC, OLBH, you know, all of these organizations are sending people to come. You know, our banks are extremely supportive in sending individuals on this tour, and they all walk away with just a variety of different comments. And one thing that they always walk away with is just, you know, wow, I didn't realize, whatever, I didn't realize there were this many people here, this many people there, you know, that there was going to be this many, talking about the neighborhood earlier, I didn't know there was going to be this many older people in wheelchairs and with grandchildren, and, you know, people use layman's terms on this because they don't know exactly what the politically correct thing is to say, so they'll stumble to find their words sometimes. But it's just, I didn't know there was this many people, you know. And then that's when they get involved.
Absolutely.
And you know, and it usually starts with the smallest little thing, whether it's giving that first $5 or participating in that first food drive, and then eventually, you know, that volunteerism spirit leads you to something, you know, like CASA, which is, I mean, you know, again, protecting our children, encouraging them, educating them, empowering them. There's nothing, I mean, there's really no better work, I think, that we can do than that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I completely agree with you. I'm just, this whole process has started out for me as just one big, giant learning process, and I just keep taking these little steps, and they're just become bigger and bigger steps, and it's been fantastic. I've just really enjoyed this whole ride. It's been great. So next up, we are going to Aaron Keaton. Yes, and I'm excited to hear what he has for us.
God walks the dark hills, the highways, the byways. He walks on the billows of life's troubled sea. He walks through the cold, dark nights, shadows of midnight. God walks the dark hills. mountain so high, across rivers through valleys. God walks the dark hills. We love tonight. God walks the dark hills to guide my footsteps.
Northeast Kentucky is your United Way. You give money to United Way of Northeast Kentucky, and that money stays within the community. That community encompasses Boyd, Greenup, Carter, Elliott, and Lawrence counties, and we pride ourselves on being good stewards of your dollars.
One of the best things that I like about United Way is that it's more than just a give out, it's a hand up.
There's a lot of things that United Way helps do. They help actually link a lot of volunteers up to the community through the 65-75 agencies that provide services. So they not only accept money, but they also are really key in helping link services and volunteers to all the agencies in the 5 co-ad district.
I work for Marathon Petroleum at the refinery there in Catlicksburg, and I work in the Tech Services Department, and they sent an email from Big Brothers Big Sisters, and it was about Sam in particular. It was not long after Sam had lost his great-grandfather. They mentioned this hour-a-week program, and I thought, man, what a great idea.
I was having trouble at that time, and our counselor, Miss Went, she come up and she asked me if I wanted a big brother, and I said, yeah, I'd like to have one.
There's a lot of people who don't have male figures in their lives these days, especially children, and they need somebody to mentor them and show them how to live and what to do.
I like having a big brother because it's fun, and he helps me with my schoolwork, and we get to spend time together and stuff, and we shoot basketball together, and we have lots of fun.
It's been wonderful to have Reynolds as a big brother for Sam. He's really helped me a lot, and he's helped Sam tremendously.
Volunteerism is a huge part of United Way. A lot of people may not have the money, but they have the time that they can donate, and so we've been known to direct volunteers to whatever organization that may need assistance.
You can't go wrong investing in United Way, because look at all the different places your money is going. It's staying in the community, for one, in the 5 co area. It is providing dollars in investment dollars in the lives of people struggling. It's in providing investment dollars in those wanting to grow and become good leaders, like for the Scouts. It's investing dollars for those who are needing aftercare, like with hospice and other areas.
Everything was going pretty good at first, and all of a sudden our vehicle started messing up, and I couldn't get back and forth to work, going to Jeffersonville, and she lost her job at KyHopeAthon.
In the blink of an eye, you can just lose everything, whether it's your car breaking down or a house fire. There's a million ways it can happen.
First we received housing. That was the most important thing, because we got behind on a lot of our rent when we lost our jobs.
I never thought I'd be in a position that I'd be homeless, that my children wouldn't have a place to go.
I think we was at the point where we was almost to give up, and we found this program, and without it we probably would have just went our separate ways and lost a good chance at a family.
It's just people coming together and helping each other.
It's really just something that I can do locally for my community.
The United Way dollars that you donate help us provide the services needed for those families to get back on their feet and live violence-free.
So if there hadn't been a program like this, I'd probably be behind the flood wall somewhere, if not dead, you know.
This is a great opportunity in life to get your life together. Don't give up. Don't let anybody stop you, push you down, tell you that you can't do this, because you can.
I think they're doing a great job. They really are. I don't think I've never heard of anybody not getting help that comes out here.
We can't do it without the community. It's actually, you're talking about takes a village. Well, it's the whole village and the whole 5 co area that makes it possible for United Way to be here.
You know, as you've just seen a sample of the organizations that we help. There's far more. I challenge you to get more involved with them. Learn more. Tell your friends, tell your peers, tell your coworkers that it's an outstanding thing.
When you give more, you get more. And whenever you get more, you can give more.
I'm Ann Perkins, and I live united.
I'm Debbie Sivis, and I live united.
I'm Jerry Compton, and I live united. United Way of Northeast.
All right, everybody, we are back, and I wanted to give everyone an update on the money that we've raised so far, and we are up to $325, so that is really good. So, yay! That's great. I want to give everyone a quick refresher on the phone numbers so that they can call. It is 325-1810 and 325-8787 and 325-2265. So you guys can call those lines are open. And also you can make a donation online to www.wnek.org, so you can make that online donation. So remember, this show will be archived so you can watch it anytime, because there's been some great entertainment and also some great information on all the different organizations here that's associated with this area. And I've been educated all night, so I'll tell you what, it's been like, learn something new every day. I've learned all kinds of stuff this evening. So I am with two lovely ladies here, and it's Jeannie Broughton, and that's my little fiery little redhead over there.
Yes, ma'am.
And Diane Zwick. And you ladies are with the Ashland Child Development. Am I correct?
Correct.
All right, so I have read my paper correctly. All right, so why don't you guys tell me a little bit about yourselves and what you do?
The Ashland Child Development Center is a facility that offers early childhood education and care for children ages 1 through up to 13 years of age.
You get a wide range there.
Yes, we do. Take care of the little ones. Been in operation, this is into our 41st year.
Wow.
Yeah, been around a while. And in that time, we've seen probably close to 12,000 kids come through our door.
Oh my goodness.
And now we're taking care of about 200 annually.
Wow, that's a lot of kids.
It is. It's a fairly sizable operation.
Absolutely.
And Diane is our founder and current president of the Board of Trustees.
So you founded this operation, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's interesting how she founded the center, I think, because, and I'll let her tell a little bit about it, but as a young mother, she could not find the kind of education for her little ones as she wanted as she started working.
Sure.
And so she decided she'd start her own.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about how you started this wonderful program? There you go.
I kind of backed into it. I was teaching at ACTC and had 3 little ones, and there was no public kindergarten at the time, and the child care that there was, while it was well intended, they had trouble educating the kids. And I really felt like I knew I had a good background in preschool education, and I knew what they should be getting, so it kind of built. And then through the YWCA, they encouraged me, and we eventually got it off the ground. It's its own incorporation. It's a 501c3 not-for-profit.
So where are you guys located at exactly?
Our main operation is in the 1500 block of Central, and we've been there for the 40-some years. Started out in the old YWCA, was a house that had been converted for use for the YW, and then Diane worked with the Y board to assume the ownership on or the corporation assumed the ownership on the building, and it was a 104-year-old house.
Oh,
4-story.
Yes.
And they added on an extension on the front of it and made it work, for the center for many, many years. But we got to the point where we were bursting at the seams.
Sure.
And being on multiple levels and transporting the kids up and downstairs to classrooms and so on, had its issues, but particularly for the children with handicaps and the parents. And we have always accommodated those individuals. It did present certain problems, although we accommodated them.
Sure.
So,
I love houses that old, but like you said, I mean, it just when it comes to renovating or even accommodating, it's too hard structurally.
It was difficult.
Sure.
And the hospice administration building was sitting on the corner of 16th and Central, and when they built their new facility, they came to Diane and said, would you be interested?
How about it?
We have an offer you can't refuse.
Yes, exactly.
And it is, we moved in a year ago, September.
Sure.
And it almost doubled our space.
Well, that's
and
great.
on a single level.
Floor.
Yes, it was marvelous. It's
I
been
bet.
wonderful. We
Yeah, 4
absolutely
floors to
love it.
one.
And after, it took us about a year and a half to renovate. And I have to tell this little story, renovating to prepare a building for a child center, and you have to meet all the state regs and everything.
Yes,
It's
I can imagine that was
bit
a nightmare.
daunting.
and another set for childcare.
Yeah, it just goes. It's amazing. It's been, you talk about an education.
Oh, I bet.
And how many toilets do you need, and urinals, and and on
how high they have to
yeah.
be, and exactly. And how many hours of daylight are they supposed to be able to see?
Exactly. So we found out that in mid-renovation that we did not have enough bathroom facilities for the guys. So all of a sudden we had to put in a
knock out some
$10,000 bathroom. And
oh my goodness!
Thanks to United Way, they helped us
made
out
that happen.
with funded.
Yes.
And of course that made it possible for us to pass state regulations, but we'll call it our United Way bathroom.
There you
Yes.
go.
Indeed.
Isn't that funny? What it is that that was going to hold that up was a bathroom,
And it
You
will.
know?
It certainly will. You'd be amazed the little things that they'll say. Sorry, you get it fixed, or you're
You
not
can't
open.
educate the kids because there's not enough potties.
Yeah, it's true. It is very good, and they have to be so many inches apart from the floor, and just on and on.
Craziest thing.
The manual, the regulation book is that thick, literally,
Yeah.
literally. But we moved over there, and that's where we have our operations from 3 years up through our after-school program. Now we keep our little guys, our 1 and 2 year olds, in a separate building for a reason. Their educational needs are vastly different from the older children. Germs are an issue.
And they're germy.
And, well, it's the older ones bringing things into the little guys.
They're far more active with the touching.
Yes, indeed. And as Diane likes to say, a 5-year-old will run over a 1-year-old real fast.
Sure they will. Sure they will. Yes,
so we keep them separated, and our main building is on the corner. We have a playground because we're very much into physical education because of the obesity issues in this area. And then we've got the infant and toddler building. So we take up about half the block there.
Now, do you guys have employees, or is it strictly all volunteer?
We have 20 employees, and then we have volunteers as well. We have a totally volunteer board, and then we also have volunteers, and by the way, we always need volunteers to come in and work with the children, to read, to tutor, to do arts and crafts projects. And
that's
in
a lot
the
of
summer,
kids. I
yes,
mean,
it is.
And that's
Yes,
such
it
a
is.
very active age group, and that's a lot of kids. That's a lot of kids. I have,
we don't have.
And my kids wear me out on a daily basis.
We don't have them all at once.
Yeah, but still, I mean, and sometimes I don't even have mine all at once, and they still wear me out.
The
2 minutes.
Volunteers are.
We'll give you more time.
Okay.
We'll just do a song, and then we'll come back, and then you can, because I'm interested in to see what this is all about.
We want to get on to the education part of this.
The volunteers are really important to us because that can make so much difference in these children's lives, because 85% of our kids are low income.
Sure.
And 80% come from single parent home. So the attention they get at the center, both educationally, physically, and being around other individuals to stimulate them is major, major importance. Diane's philosophy is that education is a lifelong opportunity, but you've really got to have a solid foundation.
Just look at us.
Just look at us.
Jerry told me that you guys were a lively bunch.
Oh, we are.
He definitely did. And I said, I really want to hear about this. And I think that we're going to go ahead, Keith, we're going to go ahead and go to Aaron in just a second. Actually, Hank, you going to take the camera over? Or? Oh, he's coming. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go over to Aaron and let him sing a song or two, and then we're going to come back so that we can do this demonstration here with this puppet and these cards and all this, because I'm interested to see what you guys have. It's your own little This is your thing here, right?
This is the it's a language development kit that was developed at Vanderbilt pretty much 40 years ago. I learned about it when I was in graduate school, and what it does is have the kids learn how to speak the English language correctly before they get to first grade.
I also want to take this time to thank Mayor Bill Hopkins, also the Russell City Council, and Carolyn Buckholz, who is the Senior Citizens Director, and Ruth Hawkins, who is back here in the kitchen doing an awesome job and running around here, and she has packaged up all of our leftover food, which has been great. And so I want to say thank you to all those people who have made this night possible, and the Russell Senior Citizen Center for letting us use their venue here tonight to do all this, which has been great. We're raising a lot of awareness tonight about all these wonderful agencies that are here in our area doing a lot of really good things for kids, for seniors, for homeless, for just all the people in need. All right, so I am back here with Jeannie Broughton and Diane Zwick with the Ashland Child Development. And Diane, you were going to tell me about your goodies here.
Well, there are a couple of things that I'd like to talk about. We try to give the kids a really great day. Not only do they have fun, but they need to learn things. The neat thing about 3 to 5-year-olds is that they're learning at least 50 words a day. And we really feel like we need to expand their vocabulary in some of the right directions.
Thinking the same thing.
Yeah, being home watching a soap opera is one thing, but broadening the vocabulary to look at things like, well, what's a form of transportation? What's a fruit? What's a vegetable? Why do we need them? Things along that line. We use the Peabody Language Development Kit that was developed at Vanderbilt University. And this little guy is P. Mooney. He has his own bag with a PM on it. And if you'll notice, he does not have eyes. He does not have ears. He only pays attention to you if you're behaving. Okay? And he will ask you questions. It's a Socratic method of learning, only it's, you know, not at the college level, it's at the 3-year-old level, and he'll say things like, are these cars? And we'll hold out 2 or 3 matchbox cars. And the child says, yeah, that is cars. And we'll say, no, these are cars, you know, trying to get the proper language across to them. Might as well let them learn the correct language as some of the other things that they're hearing. And they really enjoy this because they relate this. He's not the only puppet that we use lots of them, but it does get their attention. Then there are cards with lessons on them. And this was to introduce P. Mooney at the beginning of the year. And what we're doing is P. Mooney is introducing a friend, and he shows part of the friend, and they say, well, where's the rest of him? Okay, that's his hat. So what does that go on? Oh, a head. Yeah, right. And then the feet show up. This is Mr. Nobody. So he's becoming somebody. Here we have hands, tummy, arms, and then eventually we actually have a face with eyes and a nice big smile. So anyway, nobody really is nobody. And P. Mooney introduces him as his first friend. And then we go on. I think there are around 600 cards and maybe 300 lessons that the kids get from these cards. We do it every day, and it's amazing the kinds of things that they learn from it. And then there's lots of other, we really feel like singing is important. The kids enjoy it. We get to get out in the community with it. And they also, when you're singing, I don't know, 20 Christmas songs, think of the new words you're learning. And we don't just sing it, we stop and say, okay, what is this? What is a sleigh? You know, this sort of thing. So singing's important. Relating to our volunteers is important. We bring new people in, and so that the kids feel like they can go up and talk to them. Of course, we're real careful who we have volunteer, but they're a very important part of our program. The lady who directs our singing is a volunteer, which we're very grateful for, because while a staff of 20 can go a long ways, part of that staff goes to Hager for an after-school program, and then some of them come in for our school-age program on Central Avenue. We bus kids from Oakview, Pogue,
all the
and then walk kids in from Crab School, and they have a good time. And the summer program is very rich for the older kids because we take them someplace every day, and that was one of the things that United Way helped us with this year. But by saying take them someplace, we mean we skate, we go to movies, we go to museums, we go to the Huntington Art Museum. What's the one in Charleston?
The Clay Center.
The Clay Center in Charleston.
The Highlands Museum.
Yeah.
In Ashland.
All sorts of goodies.
We try and take advantage of everything in the community. We might even march into somebody's flower shop and try to explain to the children what happens at a flower shop. So there's just, the world is a wonderful place to learn about, especially if you're a 3-year-old and curious about everything.
Yeah. I think the important thing with the summer program that we offer as well is summer's a hard time for parents with children.
Sure.
And
because they have to continue to work.
Absolutely. And some children find themselves being placed with just a relative, a neighbor, wherever. And we offer a safe learning environment for these kids. And so many of them would not have these experiences of going out in the community.
Sure.
Just because their parents can afford to take them to the places that we take them. Plus, and inside, on a daily basis, we have reading for them and tutoring and projects and all kinds of different things
learning
going on
a continual basis.
Right.
It's so much better for the
Absolutely.
kids anyway. To keep it going, to keep that brain
through
fresh.
the summertime, especially.
Exactly.
It's very important.
One other thing that we do, if you happen to be trying to take care of children in your own home, we can help you become licensed and get you the school lunch program to help you feed those little darlings. So all you have to do is call us and we will help you with that program. We don't feel like we have to take care of every child in the region. We would like to, but but we realize that there's very good care going on in some of your homes.
So how can they reach you if they need to again?
606-329-1744. And there's always somebody there to help. We're also there to help with problems that you may be having with your child. We act as a referral center almost on a daily basis. Who can I get to help my child do this, that, or the other thing? We can usually find someone.
Well, you guys are an absolute delight. I really appreciate having you here, and I love Mr. P. Mooney. He was adorable, and you guys were with the Ashland Child Center, and again, thank you so much for coming this evening. And so he's a preacher on Sundays. At what church are you at? Faith Baptist Church, and where? Westwood.
Okay.
Yes. And I think your kids, or doesn't Harley play the drums or something like that in your band?
Yeah, they family band. I play bass and guitar.
See?
Plays guitar, and I have a 7-year-old daughter that is our drummer.
The drummer,
Oh my
Harley.
goodness.
Harley plays the drums.
Well, with a name like Harley, you should play the drums.
You should
That's a
play
great
something
name.
really
Yeah.
cool.
How fun! Well, see, you're just all kinds of talented, and Keith, you've just fit to us. So,
well, we want to thank everybody for joining us.
Absolutely.
And it's been a really great evening. Definitely an eye-opening evening for me.
and I was telling Brittany a while ago, it was like, we started counting down the list, I said, this is 8 agencies out of 60 that just the United Way works with. I'm like, this is just the tip of the iceberg. So.
Yes, I mean, there is 60 agencies here, and this is the northeast region, right?
Right. This is 5 counties: Boyd, Greenup, Carter, Elliott, and Lawrence.
Exactly. And so, like I said, 8 were here this evening, and that we were hearing about, and a lot of which I had absolutely no idea. I mean, of course, I've heard of them, but not really any clear idea exactly what all that they did here in the area. So, again, eye-opening to myself. I'm sure to a lot of our people that are watching this or that will watch this here in the future. So I know there's a lot of places for people to give, monetary donations, of course, items that they have around the house that they can give, or even items that they want to go buy extras of.
Right.
And then also volunteering their time and their talents to these organizations is definitely, because there's so many different things people can do.
Well, I mean, there's volunteering for for an organization on a regular basis doing something, whether it's cutting people's hair or sweeping up hair that someone else cut, or whatever it is, cleaning and just helping out in any number of ways. As you talk to most of these agencies, they do a tremendous amount. They're going to make you think, wow, they must have 50 people that are behind this, that are doing this. Most of them are operating like us, the United Way of Northeast Kentucky, on 2 people. Erica Berry that was singing earlier, Erica and I are the staff of United Way of Northeast Kentucky. We are, again, very fortunate to have 22 wonderful board members that represent all 5 of our counties. Our chairman of the board, Keith McBride, and our vice chair of the board, John Ulensi, extremely supportive. We have got an incredibly active and supportive board. In fact, one of our most active board members, Sheila Fraley, just somebody who's just a dynamo in the, it works with Marathon Petroleum, and it's just always so supportive in organizing that campaign. Sheila called in a pledge earlier, so see, I mean, it just keeps going. So she wants to see the successful. So we are up to $350 now, and Hank's given us a big thumbs up. But here's the thing, just what you guys are doing here tonight, this is volunteering your time. This is money that's being raised that we wouldn't normally have for these agencies. So, an event like this, we were talking earlier to Jerry Willis with the Ashland Independent Schools Family Resource Center. That Born Learning Academy that Toyota sponsors, the way that, when Toyota decides, okay, we're pulling away from this program now, we've sustained this program and developed it, now we want to have it funded locally, and here you go. Our goal for that has been, we had a young lady, Catherine Onan, who's the daughter of a board member of ours. She she graduated this past spring as the valedictorian for Ashland Paul Blazer. And she came to us 2 years ago and said, I want to do an event for United Way. And she organized a 3K run. Now that first run, she organized it as a junior. We had it in August, right before her senior year, and she raised a little over $4,500 in sponsorships, and that was after all expenses. Then what she did is, as a senior, she chose a successor, female junior, who was to organize that, and she mentored her. That was Jordan Mead, who's now a senior at Paul Blazer. She had she did the run this past August. We made over $5,100.
Which is just fantastic.
And the thing is that you heard Jerry, this program at Born Learning Academy, we fund that at about $5,000, $3,000 to $5,000 level. Well, that money we were able to take and directly feed back into the Ashland Independent School System. That's what we decided to do with it. So each year, a Paul Blazer student's going to raise the money to help sustain this program. That's our goal. Now imagine if we had one high school student from every high school in our 5 counties that wanted to do a project, and we could give that money back to their school system.
And even if it was just, like I said, just a 3K or a 5K, because everybody's doing them, everybody's running them, and people do it.
They're always successful. It could be any number of things.
Absolutely.
Kids are 10 times more creative than we are, and they're always coming up with ideas. So, so that's, just organizing events. I mean, Hank was sitting in my office, here we are talking about the Beacon, but then he goes, has anybody ever done, a telethon type thing for United Way? And he says, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have this Hope-a-thon.
And we can do, and we can grow this. this is, like I said, this is just a platform for us to sort of get this, like I said, to get the awareness out, and this can be bigger. This is our first one, and we can make this go bigger. So you guys have a couple of other things. This Magical Night of Giving.
We actually have a representative at the Ashland Town Center on our board of directors, Jamie Bloss, and Jamie asked if we were going to sell the Magical Night of Giving tickets. Of course, those are $5. It's a very popular event. I go every year. I love it. A lot of people buy more than one ticket because the ticket gets you entered into a door prize drawing, and they give great gifts. I mean, they have a board of gifts, and people just standing there watching these gifts being drawn throughout the night. It's a really fun evening. It's you know, a Sunday evening. The mall's closed down. You know, that ticket kind of gets you in the door, but the more you buy, the more the proceeds go to the charity that's selling it, so the proceeds will go to United Way. And you also get entered in for some really fabulous prizes, plus some great deals throughout the mall. That's a wonderful thing we have. This Saturday, we have Funtoberfest in Grayson. Smithfield Foods they have come on board with a vengeance. I mean, they're taking off, and they are so excited about their United Way campaign and their involvement with us now. So they're going to be selling, I believe it's chocolate dipped Twinkies, I think. Oh, mercy. Don't shoot me if I'm wrong about that, but I think that's what they're going to be doing. Hank is looking like yes. But they're going to be selling some various goodies out there this Saturday for Funtoberfest. Great all-day festival. We also have an 80s aerobics night. This was a brainchild of mine at like 3 in the morning. It's the YMCA is hosting this, and they have worked to get the Marla. You can see the passion that Marla has. But it's $5, and it's on October the 17th. That's a Friday night, and it's an 80s aerobic night. So come in your best 80s aerobics gear.
Yes, your best leg warmers.
We're going to Richard Simmons it, Jane Fonda. You know, we're just going to be like Olivia Newton-John out there. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That sounds good.
So we've got so much going on always, and again, I just want to say thank you to Our Lady of Alphon Hospital for sponsoring this, First and People's Bank, and the Greenup Beacon. This wouldn't happen without Hank's foresight and just his passion and
he doesn't
fun, and he's going, no, whatever.
He just doesn't
but,
sleep. He just always has these
his enthusiasm.
Yes,
so thank you, and thank you, Brittany, and all of our performers.
I had a wonderful time.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So maybe
also,
we'll do it again next year.
Absolutely, and also want to thank Mayor Bill Hopkins, Russell City Council, Carolyn Buckholtz, the Senior Citizens Director, and Ruth Hopkins. Again, thank you. You were awesome today, and our corporate partner, First and People's Bank and Trust. You guys are awesome, and we thank Papa John's Pizza, Subway of Flatwoods, and Chick-fil-A for donating the food for tonight. Am I forgetting anybody? Stevens, thank you guys so much, and Aaron Keaton for his musical finesse, and the Bronson Bush, and the Scioto Brass Trio. The two of us. Yes, and Keith Atkins on camera. Awesome, thank you. And who am I forgetting?
Well, there's just, I mean, you know, it seemed like it took a little village to get this going. Subway Flatwoods, Papa John's, Chick-fil-A, thank you guys. Yes. I mean, they're always supporting the community. So we have a wonderful community of support, I have to say. So thank you guys.
All right, we are going to close with the Stevens family. They're going to give us a little music closing, and thank you again so much for joining us. We really appreciate your help. Make sure you guys give to the United Way. Really, really need your help and support in making this community a better place to live. We really appreciate you guys joining us tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
you.